Hey, what's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday to you. We're not started yet, but we're just getting everything ready. I would appreciate if you guys could share this out, please. We're just getting everything sorted out here. We have a plethora of stuff to talk about this week, as well as giving away some stuff. I wonder what this stuff is on my hat. I'm gonna have to go wipe that off. If you guys can share this out, I'll be back in about 2 to 3 minutes, and we're gonna get going. We have a lot to talk about today, so please share this out.
Nitro is the glory, but E-Buggy pays the bills. Welcome to the No Name RC podcast. Get ready for some serious bench racing. But be warned, we speak our minds, express our thoughts, and sometimes things can get a little rowdy.
Hate, and he just was influenced by the hate coming from the left, the hate coming from the right.
And let's get back to more club racing and less of this grabbing races.
It's hard not to be arrogant when you're always right. You know?
See what I mean? That's exactly why people call you arrogant, Max.
You may not agree with everything we say, but it's definitely worth a listen.
And our pick, can you stop whatever you're doing?
Join your host, Lefty the Great, with co-hosts and guests as they get together to chat RC.
Hey, after that race that I watched this morning, I have to talk about it.
Here we go. $100 right here, $100 throw. Oh no!
I like this.
Yes. What's up, everybody? Yes, indeed. Nitro's the glory, but E-Buggy pays the bills. Happy Tuesday to all of you. Yeah, it's Tuesday. I'm getting so confused at what days we're at. It's almost Christmas time. I do know that. But good morning to you all. Thank you for waiting. I hope you guys did share this out. We got 44 people watching this Tuesday. It's 11 o'clock on the East Coast. It's 12 my time. We're an hour ahead. I see you guys are tuned in the YouTubes and the Facebooks. We do have two polls going on. So if you're watching this with the vertical YouTube, and then we have the horizontal YouTube. So in the horizontal YouTube, I believe it asks, where do you think that Brendan Schimmel is going? And then in the vertical YouTube chat video, we have, where do you believe that Nate Sutherland is going? So if you're watching on Facebook, come on over and hit that YouTube, hit that sub-like notification button. What's up, DJ? Man, I was thinking about you today. I meant to message you. See how things went in your latest trip. We got Aiden Burke. Oh, wow. We got special, awesome people in her. The guy who kind of was podcasting before me. So we got Lee Flowers, Michael Knight, Herky is my homeboy, T.S. DeLosa of Slow as Fast podcast. They're scheduling a live for their podcast. We got Mark Souza, saw him as well. This out racing a lot. Hopefully we'll see him racing some more in 2026. Team 11 MRC, Bikes and Balding, morning from Colorado. Darren Steiner, it's your birthday today, is it not? If it is, happy birthday to you. Happy, what's up, man? What's up, C. Dudley? How you doing, my friend? Midwest RC. X-Attack, how are you over there in Sweden? DL, what's up, Donnie? And everybody, Merry Christmas to you. Rappy D, I already know where Nate is going. Awesome. James Martley, Mr. Ivado Davis, Taylor, Dwayne Fletcher, Nick Watlett. Ooh, you are going to be talked about her shortly. We're gonna have to probably get you on the podcast. I got my tinfoil hat on big time for you, Amen, and everybody. So we got a lot of people in here. All right, don't forget to check out those polls. Good morning to all of you. Also, we have a goal, some super chats. Let's hope that I can have a good Christmas too. We got a goal. And also, let us know, do you want to do a live show with Pecco or a recorded show with Pecco? Because Pecco is coming home, and we're going to talk to him. But anyway, thank you guys all for tuning in. We're going to get started. We got 65 people going. A big shout out to all of you guys out there, the No Name RC podcast squad around the NNRC squad. We can't do this without you guys. Thank you for all the support over the years. We're finishing up on a very successful 2020-25, and I greatly appreciate it. So thank you guys. What's up, Tony Schumacher? What's up, Tim Barth? What's up, all you guys? Nick Too Early fans. Good to see you guys in here. It's the Christmas holiday is coming up. We're giving away a Tekno E-Buggy here as well. We'll do that here very shortly. A big shout out to you guys. A big shout out to the patrons and YouTube members of the NNRC. You got a good podcast coming this weekend. I recorded with Nicola Moroni, and he holds back nothing. So it's a good one. And we're here with Coffee with Lefty, both by our sponsors. J Concepts, High Tech RC, Sidewinder Fuel, Latara Racing, Invisible Speed, ML Toys, Side Piece Racing, Dollar Hobbies, Fly Sky, Get Shit Done Coffee, Elite RC Productions, and also home of the Hustle Raceway there in Kansas. RC Project, Mayako, Tekno RC, BeachRC.com, Racecraft USA, Clinic RC, and thank you guys. What's up, KB? KB, wow, we got a lot of people in here. We got somebody from Switzerland. What's up, Howie Greg? How are you? We got Tim Barth in here. Mike Cass, he says, great show. And you know what? Great show, 339, by the way. And the Brock interviews are great. Thank you. Awesome. I think that the Brock Champlin interview is very good. And I think the live show that Jason and Alex and I did is really good. What was 339? Was it Max and I? Did Max? You know, somebody tag Max. He isn't responding to me in our chats. None of our chats, he's responding to me. I think Max is plotting something. Or extremely busy. What's up, Jason Sicily? So thank you to all those companies for their support. We have links for them in the written description of this podcast. Also, if you wish to support the podcast a little bit further, you can become a patron or YouTube member, and you'll get that early access to that Nicola Moroni podcast coming out this week. Also, other news coming up. We do have a live show, Elite. I'll be hosting that. We are doing a Christmas show Monday, 7 p.m. It will be live on the Elite RC Productions and YouTube and Facebook page. I'll be joined by Lance, maybe Josie, Danny Paz, my little Guatemalan elf will be in the background, dressed up as Alf, and I'm hoping to get him on camera, dressed up as one. They have a bunch of giveaways. I should have had the link up, but if you go to Elite RC Productions website, elitercp.com, you go on over there and you can sign up. Each person gets one entry, and there's a plethora of giveaways. So they're going to do, they have like a kit, ESC, stuff like that. And it's all there. You get one entry. If you try to double entry, you will be disqualified. So one entry per user. Now, that doesn't stop you from signing in your wife and everybody else as well. I don't know all the rules and regulations there, but you can go check it out at elitercp.com. And RC Victory Lane, this is looking like a quiet, silly season. Oh, only for people who don't really look on the inside of silly season and look at all the clues. Oh, I think that's BJ. What's up, Landon Wilder? Give me a second, everybody. Just have a call. It's about a package. Oh, I have a package coming, but I have to deny it. Not deny it. I have to go pick it up. All right. What's up, Tony Padashow? Sorry about that. Real life going on. So, yeah, lots of things going on with Elite RC Productions. That's next Monday. Lots of things to give away. EliteRCP.com. Thank you, Pete. We got 9 more to reach our goal. Help me, help NNRC have a Merry Christmas. We're going to do a Christmas show, too. And I got to talk to a guy about a package. No, it's my courier. That even sounds bad, too. He's actually a courier. I have some medicated shampoo for my dog coming in. From Amazon. So thank you, Pete. He hit that. I appreciate Pete. You can also become a member. That helps as well. Members have got cool emojis as well. If you're a member in a YouTube world, you can use those cool emojis. What's up, Curtis Wong? How are you? Good. I was thinking about you today too. I think I saw a picture of your son. It's his birthday. Yeah, and don't forget to hit that like button as well. No, you didn't miss silly season. I haven't even got started and we're 12 minutes in. I'm surprised Danny isn't in her correcting me. All right, so let's do. I don't know what that means. You would have to contact Elite RC Productions on Facebook. I am just the conveyor. I am not the proprietor of it. Maybe it hasn't. I don't know. Maybe Lance and Danny will pop in here and they can answer some questions. So we'll see. I'm going to send them a message and say, hey, maybe you guys can pop in and answer some questions about the giveaway. So you guys, because I don't know all the details. And give me a second. Don't forget to share this out. 80 people. Let's get to 100, everybody. Super chats will get you my attention. If you have a question or topic you want to talk about, super chat. You'll get 5 minutes of, dependent. If you $100, we'll stop this podcast and talk about it for 20 minutes. I'm just answer any questions. Well, we're going to do the giveaway that we have currently going on that they did from the EXALT race that happened this past weekend. And I just messaged them. So see, hopefully one of them could come in here and answer about the giveaway in the chat. But let's pull up the Digamahugi. I'm sure in this. What's up, Kevin Mendez? I don't know. What's up? Kevin, Mike Kaz. All right, there we go. One super chat. All right, let's bring up. I know a lot of you are here for it, so I know you probably want to get on for your day and don't want to hear nothing about what I have to say, which is fine. So this is a giveaway for a e-ticket competition for a Tekno EB48 2.2 E-Buggy. It was held at the EXALT Race. So thank you everybody that participated in those 60 participants. That's how many names I have. Right now, they're all in order. I'm going to shuffle them up. And then we're going to spin the wheel. Good luck, everybody. Thank you, everybody, over the years for the continued support. Good luck, everybody. All right. I think somebody had a name Ratty in her earlier. I wonder if that was him. All right, let me send that off to Lance. Well done, Keaton Ratty. Congratulations. You are the owner of a brand new Tekno E-Buggy. Congratulations and thank you for the support. We greatly appreciate it. We cannot do it without the support of these e-ticket competitions. So thank you very much. Hunter Parsons, I thought it was going to slow down on your name. It was just going a little bit too fast. It was just going a little bit too fast. I was on your side, good buddy. I was on your side. All right. Let's get into some of my topics here that I have to talk about. And it's some RC news, mostly RC news. It's some boring stuff. I don't know. You guys might find it exciting, but it's some things I just wanted to talk about really quickly as I get my stuff in order. And I was also saying that we, the NNRC, are planning a Christmas show too, but I think at this time it might actually be after Christmas. Trying to get a time because next week I'll be doing the Elite one. So it might be after Christmas. I'm trying to secure a few more prizes. Danny Paz is here. So Danny Paz, somebody just asked, said they tried to go on and sign up for the free giveaway and they said it was sold out. So maybe you can answer that. Before I go on any further, I should have done this from the very beginning. I want to say some condolences to the Parrish family. Their son Trevor passed away. He was in the hospital for a long time. They had Tyler and Trevor Parrish. They were both wheelbound racers who I got the privilege of meeting them both back in the day. And I saw that Trevor passed away a few weeks ago. Unfortunate for them. Okay. Giveaway will go live during show only. Okay, perfect. I actually probably will do something like this. I'm going to ask Danny if he can do it for me as well. We'll do our giveaway something very similar to this as well. I'm going to ask Danny to help me out for a day. Maybe he will. Maybe he won't. Who knows how he feels. But yes, back to our news. Sorry, very sorry to the Parrish family. If you ever got to meet them at the race, they're very nice. Their mother always had some food for you or something to eat. So very nice people. And unfortunate, their children suffer. I don't know the exact disease that they suffer from, but they basically were wheelchair bound when they were teenagers. So Danny says, I'll be posting information today on Elite RC Productions Facebook page. You did not miss the sign up yet, TQ chef. And also out to our Pacific Northwest racers. So apparently I don't watch news much. So our good friend Ty was keeping us abreast of this. But up there in the Pacific Northwest, I'm sure it's various other places as well. But this is Die Hard, which is Die Hard RC, which I believe is in Washington, I want to say. And this is a track. I think we're going to go through the pictures here. And this is their track. It's completely underwater. Maybe I should. This is their GoFund right here. Anyway, but this is like an AstroTurf track, an 8-scale track, crawler, flying field. They have a hangar. Like these people put a lot of work into RC. And they kind of are just underwater, man. So there's a lot of flooding up here. And I don't know. It's winter time, so they got to wait. They have a GoFundMe they've raised apparently approximately I'm trying to look. They had raised like $6,000, $6,500. They're looking to raise about $10,000. So I'll leave a link for this. Actually, maybe I can put a link here and there. I'll put it myself. And if you guys want to participate, it would definitely help them out. Thank you, Mike Winders. He became a YouTube member. I do appreciate it. For I think it's $1.99 or $2.99 a month. You can support the podcast. Unfortunately for Die Hard, hopefully they will. Brett and Brenda, my son-in-law, and everybody have poured their hearts and souls and countless hours of hard work into building Die Hard Family RC Park in Snohomish, Washington. What they created is far more than a racetrack. It's a gathering and a place for families. It is. They have a lot of families there, a lot of young people there, and then mentorship and community. Die Hard was always been built on passion, grit, and giving back. In just a matter of days, that life's work has been devastated. Historic flooding swept through the area, leaving the park completely underwater, more than 6 feet deep. The tracks, buildings, and equipment on site are totally submerged. Years of sweat, sacrifice, and love are wiped out almost overnight. It's truly heartbreaking. The scale of loss is overwhelming, and the road ahead is uncertain. Brett and Brenda have always shown up for others, supporting families, youth racers, and a broader community whenever help was needed. Now that they are the ones facing an unmanageable challenge, once the floodwaters finally recede, the real work will begin. Cleanup, assessment, and rebuilding will take time, labor, and resources far beyond what they can manage alone. Any support, whether through donations, helping hands, equipment, or simply sharing this message, will make a meaningful difference. So one thing I know about my RC family is we like to come together and help out in these type of situations. So if you can, please do. If my link isn't working properly, I will leave a link on Facebook for it, or you can go to Die Hard and find them on Facebook and do it there. But please, if you can, help them out. Okay, my good friend Mike Lopes, he's in recovery. I talked to him. I don't know if he's still in the hospital, but he took a short course truck to the face while turn marshaling and really messed up this side of his face. He's lucky to still have an eye. He broke a lot of bones, so shout out to him. He's keeping a cool head above him and, positive attitude. And on a happy note, happy anniversary to Christy and Dennis Wilson. They are friends of mine. They've been together for a very long time. I think they're celebrating their 9th wedding anniversary. All righty then. So with that said, let's get into some RC news. And we got to pay some bills. And RC news is brought to you by Tekno RC.
Tekno RC. Tekno RC is a championship-winning manufacturer of high-performance A-scale, 10-scale, Nitro, and electric RC buggies and trucks. With a worldwide dealer network, USA and Europe-based headquarters, comprehensive warranty program, and global race support, Tekno RC is excellence in RC. View the full lineup of Tekno RC race-proven vehicles by visiting www.teknorc.com.
All righty. Thank you to Tekno RC for all their continued support. Real quick, just some race results that I missed a few weeks ago, and I saw them today, and I'm going to bring up. There are a couple of on-road stuff, but that Cleveland race that has the big off-road race, well, they also have an on-road race, and Kemp Anderson won it, followed by Hagberg, who's one of our drivers, Alexander Hagberg from Sweden, and Sam Isaacs, who I had the pleasure to meet at the 12-scale Worlds. I think I need to get Sam Isaacs or Kemp on the podcast, talk to him. Somebody actually asked for some more touring car stuff. So that is something I will definitely visit in 2026. Also, keeping it touring car. I briefly talked to Pecco this morning. He is finally home tomorrow, or leaving today, I guess. He has been in China with JQ. Salty Joe went there as well for hold on, my mouse has stopped working. Salty Joe went there for 2 weeks and went to the GDC race and to the Sun Pedal race and whatnot. But Pecco's finally home. He just did the touring car. It's basically the touring car warm-ups. One second, guys. My mouse is dying. Let me see what's going on. Red Samurai number 10. Oh, wow. Who is that? That guy is an avid, I would say, Kyosho fan. All right, something's going wonky with my mouse. There we go. See? Why can't I see my mouse? Oh, there we go. There we go. Sorry, guys. That's why I need a producer. Bruno Coelho. He takes the. Why is this not working? Anyway, Bruno Coelho takes the win at the GC for the. I guess it's the official warm-ups because the Worlds is coming up in April. Mikhail Orlowski was there as well, and it looks like it was Coelho. He won A1 and A2. And then he also ran A3 because this is a warm-up, so you got to kind of treat it as a warm-up. So I guess you can run A3 to do some testing. Says he wasn't happy with something in his car in A2, so he went and run A3 and then ran a 20-lap and totally decimated the field. But Bruno got that Infinity 10 scale car running pretty good. Red RC did a whole bunch of coverage for it. So it was pretty good. That GDC race is going to be good. I unfortunately believe that I think if somebody knows the exact date of the Worlds, I think it all clashes with PNB and Neo. I'm not sure. But it was Bruno Coelho, Lucas Urban, Mikhail Kolowski, Ryakowski, Yanamoto, Pecco in 5th, Aoki Sobu, Naatu Matasarua, Jin Sawada. So it was a lot. Obviously, this was in Asia, so it was a lot of Asian racers in attendance. And yeah, good stuff. I actually am really much looking forward to this. I don't know what's going on with my mouse. Give me a second, guys. I'm just going to do something really quick. I'm going to switch over to my good old wired mouse because my unwired mouse is kind of acting up. So give me 1 second. But as you guys also saw, that Neoland has been announced, and that basically is Miguel from Buggyland, who is going to put on a race. I don't know what the format's going to be like. I don't know too much about it, but he's going to put on a Buggyland type race or a Neo race at the old location that on Harper Adams there, the agricultural college, which housed and hosted the Neo race for many, many, many years. Maybe some of you who are now just getting into an RC don't know about the Neo race, but it was a very unique race held there in the UK that was probably the only one-off built racetrack race we've seen in Europe where they actually built a track just for the race. It's in this agriculture. There we go. So it's in this agricultural facility. It's a really black, dark, very dark, very sticky. I've never been there, but I've been to the UK and I know I've worked in this type of dirt. It looks exactly the same. Very dark, sticky chocolate cake. It's moist, it's slippery, it's sticky. But some of the best racing, Tebow has won 6 times there. Drake won a few times there. And that's coming back. So Miguelo is going to do it. I believe RC Racing TV is doing the coverage. But here's the problem. It's always been on Easter weekend. It was always Easter weekend. And also, I want to say that this race was only Nitro Buggy and there was E-Buggy, but only like 70 entries for E-Buggy. And this race only have 175 entries. So it was capped. It cost about $200 to race back in the day, back then, which was a lot of money. And you race one class. It's the odds evens, like IFMAR style. It's probably some. If you want to go check it out, go look on RC Racing TV. It's some of their old Neo Racing stuff. It's really awesome. It finished up in 2018. His last race was actually outdoor at Redovom. And then Phil went away. Actually been trying to get Phil here on the podcast. So he said he would do it, but he's also a busy man. So I don't know when we'll get to do that. But anyway, this race is coming up. Now, here's the problem. I'm very excited for this race. Europe needs something like this. They need a big race where possibly all the Americans will go at some point. The problem is I don't see the Americans going this year. One, it's the same weekend as PNB. So that is the problem. It is the same weekend as PNB. PNB will have probably all the Americans because it's a big contingency race. It's one of the major races. But what would be good is that, okay, we will probably not get any European racers over here, but what we do have is establishing a race over in Europe that I think that the Americans will feel more comfortable going over and racing against, because it is a one-off build track, right? And at near the end, to like go back to 2017, this is the race where Ongaro won the race with a just a wicker bit, like just the center part of a J Concepts Lexan wing. Robert Kuntz, good morning, my friend. Lefty, do you know the dates of next year's Pro-Am at Waccamaw? I do not know. I have not heard anything yet. I have not heard anything from Lance or anybody. So, but this race this year, next year, 2027 is clashing. I don't suspect that any Americans will go. Maybe some will. In fact, the last race that they had this race was held by the people that built the track, DXR, Dark Kings it was called. And Ryan Lutz went over there, and he had an awesome battle with Davide Angara and beat him. A 45-minute battle. It was good. Very good. Chris Harris says Memorial Day weekend. Robert, I believe that's for Pro-Am. Thank you, Chris. So, yeah, and PNB being on Easter this year is weird, right? It's never been on Easter, but that's just kind of how it fell with that date. So I will be there. Max actually might go to the Neo race because he might go work with RC Racing TV. So we'll see what happens there. He's also talking about going to Montpellier because he's going to be living in France for 6 months in some sort of student exchange stuff. All right. So we shall see. I wish Miguelo all the best. I know it's unfortunate that this next year it's clashing with PNB, but the good thing is it will also be 5 hours ahead, right? So we can follow the European racing and then what's going on at PNB as well. All right, other race results. So if you guys know, Max and I have been geeking out on Kauki Kato, and we always bring up the orange wheel guy. And we always bring up the orange wheel guy as well, because he raced at the 2023 Worlds, I think it was. Oh, what's up, Basement? How are you? Well, there he is. Yellow orange wheel, Yusuke Sugarera. He is now a Japanese national champion. Kauki Kato, who we think is the hottest thing coming out of Japan, was the reigning national champion, not anymore. But there we go. Orange wheel guy, still getting it done. If you remember, he raced the 2019 Worlds at Hudi Arena with orange wheels and was in the finals, if I'm not mistaken. Or was very fast. But I just saw that. I thought it was cool to talk about it. Well done to Yusuke and Kauki Kato. All right. We have a couple of product spotlights before I get into some silly season stuff. We are still, hold on. So we have gotten a new member. Thank you. And we only got one super chat. Come on, guys. Help me have a Merry Christmas. Give me a super chat. Oh, David Bauman. David, we've been having a great chat in the NNRC Patreon in one of our group chats, and you are not in there. There we go. He also did good at the last Reedy race, if I remember correctly. Thank you. Thank you for that. It's been a long time. We need to bring the Reedy race back. Also, don't forget to check out our polls. Let me see how that's going. Right now, I'll bring it up here. This is really where I need a producer. He could be doing this type of stuff and keeping track of this because it's entirely too much for me and my Jakey, as Jakey would say, smooth brain to keep up with. All right, so what chassis will Brennan Schimmel run in 2026? 57% of you say Schumacher, 16 AE, 5% PR, Mugen or other, 22%, 38 votes. All right, cool. Let's see what's going on in the vertical chat. I don't know. People like this vertical chat thing. It's cool, but it also it makes extra, like you got to monitor two things. Now, if YouTube can do this where you can monitor this, no problem, then it will be even better. All right. What electronics in the vertical chat on YouTube, what electronics do you think Nate Southern will race in 2026? EXALT, 36% Hobby Wing, 20% Coyote, 40%, Reds, Alceram, other 4%. Cool. So we'll keep those polls going. What up, Bauman? Thank you, Bauman. You missed last week's live too, by the way. But thank you, Bauman, Bauman always gives super chats. Thank you, Bauman. Don't forget to use the if you're, I don't know if you're a YouTube member though. What's up, Jason Lean? Thank you for the support. His daughter is part of the NNRC U squad, along with Tracy Patterson's son Mason and his other son Sawyer. Send me super chats, you cheap RC racing dudes. Oh, we're gonna get to all this. My product spotlight, because I talked about this and I want to talk about it, is brought to you by Beach RC. Shout out to Beach RC for all the continued support.
BeachRC.com, the racer's one-stop online hobby shop. Choose from all the popular brands and variety in stock with super fast shipping and great customer service. BeachRC.com still has the local hobby shop feel with all the benefits of the internet. BeachRC.com is the exclusive distributor for Ultimate Racing, S-Works, Pro Circuit Racing tires, Nitro Lux fuels, and Assault RC performance products. So fill up your cart and check out at BeachRC.com today.
All righty. Thank you to Beach RC for all their continued support. What up, Notch? How are you? So Max and I kind of talked about this a couple of weeks ago, I think it might have been. But basically, this is the Will Speed Fast Fox conversion kit. It's for the B7. And I just wanted to geek out on this really quick because I think this is awesome. I know some of you ain't 10 scale guys, but look at this stuff. I love this cantilever stuff, aluminum carbon fiber, outboard cantilever suspension. The only thing I would be really worried about would be side hits. But look at this thing. Isn't this thing beautiful? If you ran carpet, would you try to run this? Maybe we need to get Will Speed on her to talk about it. You know where you can pick up this kit here in America? At sidepieceRacing.com. One of our sponsors. But it's sold out. I don't know if you can pick it up at Sidepiece, but it's sold out at Will Speed. What do you guys think about that? That looks awesome. I like that. That looks like it would be really good on carpet. That's my thoughts on that. All right. That was one product. And then the next product was, I saw that Schumacher. Well, I know Schumacher has done re-rees as well. But, and you know, you guys, I know nothing about vintage whatsoever. But I was thinking about the vintage stuff here the other day, and I think I've changed my stance on a few things on it. But I saw that Schumacher released the Cat 2000 Classic. And that's cool because I'll be honest with you, for some reason, this car always stood out to me. I think maybe because one of the guys back in Bermuda had one. And I always admired it, looking at it. I had a Yokomo, he had this. But that got me thinking about the whole re industry and everything that's going on with that and the vintage thing. And I remember when Max and I were talking about it, I was saying that, I think it's not that good because it kind of takes away from the modern racing things and all that type of stuff. But no, I've kind of thinking about it over the last few days, and I'm thinking about it, but we kind of need that stuff. We need that to happen. We need something like this where these companies can make re-editions and they can generate income to then support the updated race stuff. So that's kind of how I look at it. So while we're still getting racing out of the vintage stuff, it's a class, it's doing well, and it's popular, and it's a big demand for it. It's also helping generating funds to help keeping the future of RC going. Excuse me. Excuse me. So that's kind of how I look at it. And I think that's cool. So there we go. A little bit of a change of a heart on my vintage thing. Notch says, I hope my Agama shows up. I paid for it a year and a half ago. He's talking about the 10 scale one. What's up, Colin Leonard? David says, I had a cat too. Pete, did you give us another one? Pete did. Thank you, Pete. Thank you for the $9.99. Pete has been very generous this year as well. The more racing, the better, regardless of a class. The only issue is how the market demand gets flooded and then the class dries up. Also, modern prices for auto tech is a bit of an issue. I would absolutely agree with all those points. I would agree with them. Notch says, in 2012, the Notch series started a vintage class when RC10 was released. Yeah, I'm cool with it. Hey, if I like gas truck and want gas truck to come back, even though gas truck's a little bit more modern now with the Ignite Design RC and new Nova Jimmy rigged engines, I have no issue with old. I would also like to have an RC10 GT 2. I want a 2. I've never had or one with modern shocks on it, one of those engines, and using it for outdoor loamy track like the ONS or something like that. That's what I would use it for. RYD 1981. You were talking about the Neo Race. I TQ'd the first one ever, hoping to go next year for sure. I'll be far from TQ nowadays. So the first ones that were in Belgium. What's your name? I want to go look that up now. Thank you, Mike Winders. Thank you. We appreciate it for the $5 super chat. He's also been very generous. The races this past weekend. So we had the EXALT race this past weekend, and I'm actually want to bring up a topic about this that I thought was pretty fun. So I went to the EXALT race last year. Last year was at Sundancers. This year it was at Triple Nickel, which now the people that used to formerly run Sundancers now run Triple Nickel because Sundancers closed permanently. So they built a track. It's a smallish track, but that red Florida clay. And I watched quite a lot of it on the Elite RC Productions website. Mason Fuller was there. Caden Fuller, Nate was there. And I wouldn't say a big shout out. One of the topics of conversations that came out of this, I was talking to Mike Fuller, my buddy Alan Placer, because Nate, basically, they did a tandem race there with E-Truggies. They did Nate and I think it was Nate and Caden versus Ryan Stiles Harris and Mason Fuller driving tandem, E-Truggy in the Nitro Truggy race, 25 minutes, and they won. They won it. And I asked Mike Fuller how he did this, and he said basically he strapped 2 4S shorties in the E-Truggy and in parallel. So they basically there was 6,500, so they ended up being 1,300 MAH. Now I had him on the side. He said he thought that he probably could have, if they could go saddle pack, it would be really good. Anyway, I'm getting to all of this to bring this up to say that I definitely think that E-Truggy, we can get away with doing longer races. We can put bigger batteries in them like that. He also said key was turning the power on. I think 25 minutes is a stretch, but I definitely think 15 minutes is easy to do, and I wouldn't mind seeing 15-minute races. And if you want to go longer, in E-Truggy, we put those bigger batteries. Do I see it happening in E-Buggy? Not so much, because we don't have the space for the bigger batteries until battery tech gets better. Anyway, that was my thought. I was talking to my buddy Alan Placer about that of ML Toys. I thought it was pretty cool. And what do you guys think? I'll post up some pictures. Maybe I'll talk to Mike Fuller, see if he'll let me do it. But it was pretty cool. And Nick at CNC, I think every electric class to go to longer races. So it's, you know what I've discovered about the longer race thing? It's not necessarily now about the electronics and the battery power. We know that can do it. We can easily do 10-minute races in 10 scale. We can do 15-minute races in E-Buggy, no problem. It's not that. I think that the cars are being designed around going that short period of time and the weight. Does that make sense? So they want the E-Buggy races to be 8 minutes instead of 10, because then they can shave off so much weight off the car. Then, oh, by the way, I was also told with those 2 batteries in the truggy, it was only 200 grams over. So my point is that I don't think it's the power delivery yet. It's the design of the cars. The cars are designed to work they're trying to get these cars to work better and not be as heavy. And that's why we're seeing lighter batteries and all that stuff. Mike Lopes, what's up? We just talking when he says 10 is enough. What's up, Checkered Pass? Ryan, oh, it's Ryan Donovan. Okay, the Red Samurai, number 10. What's up, Ryan? Shout out to Jermaine Robinson for his P2 coming from the LCQ. You know what, BJ, at the U.S. Open, I was actually trying to find results for that race. Are they on Facebook? Sorry, not Facebook. Are they on Live RC? Because I know they use a different software. So that was the other race that happened this weekend. That we had the U.S. Open. Wouldn't it be able to? Nah, no. We don't want that. I don't want that. TQ Chefs, would it be better to have Pitman to swap the battery mid-race? Nah. No. Because there's no, you know what, there's like, I've had this argument. So the beauty of E-Buggy and E-Truggy and all this stuff is the fact that you don't need a Pitman, right? That's the number one thing I heard that's people love about E-Truggy and E-Buggy. Well, if you start needing a Pitman, you take that away. So I think making them last longer. I personally prefer 3 10-minute races. I think that's fun. I like the sprints of the E-Buggies and the E-Truggies. That's what I like. 3 10-minute A finals are great. I like the double finals as well. Maybe the double finals could be 15 minutes. But I wouldn't be mad at 3 15-minute finals. But as for coming in for battery changes, nah. Because I don't want to see somebody fumbling for 20 seconds. I like the quick in and out that we get in Nitro, and they're making such a big difference in Nitro now. That's my thoughts on that. All right, we got a lot of questions. It cleans up the racing with longer races. Yeah, but I don't want to see pits. I have no problem with longer races. We can do 3 15-minute races. I'm fine with that. I don't want it to be Nitro. And that's what my Fuller says. They would have lost if they would have switched batteries. It would have been like, I like the quick in, out, possibly flaming out. You know? I like quick pits. Hello, Abdullah Al-Jarki. You're saying hi all the way from the Middle East in Kuwait. Kuwait had a nice track. All right, what's up, Frank Page? Tim Perez, 099. No idea what that is. Yeah, I don't want to swap batteries. Keep pits to Nitro. I don't have any results from US Open. I was looking on Live RC. I know they use RC Garage. If anybody knows the software, I probably should know this. If anybody knows it, just shoot me a link. I didn't even know who won. The track looked good though. I think Westergaard did. I think Westergaard also built a e-bike track, like for the Saurons, and another track out there, like for people as well. So that was pretty cool. No problem, Tim Perez. You can do it. You can do it, Tim Perez. 888s would be the best. More platforms are on shorties now, and that's where we're going, right? Notch. We're going for that low. It's on the JBR. Thank you, Ryan McCreary. It is on the JBRL. Anyway, I just want to look at the results from US Open. Like I said, the track was very nice. Very nice. Race results. Here we go. So pro Nitro buggy was Ryan Mayfield. Oh, wow. Jermaine Robinson from 13th up to 2nd. Well done. So Tyler Fencer, Spencer Heckert, AJ Rodriguez. He's the kid from, I want to say, Northwest. Runs Infinity? Westergaard, Ryder Anhill, Aram Torres, Graham Hill. Wow, I haven't seen Graham for years. Matthew Willoughby. Met him at Hobby Action. Joshua Vidro, Wyatt Biter, and Camden Line did not. He only ran 15 minutes. Mayfield got in the lead on lap 8 and never looked back. Unfortunate for Camden Line. What happened to Camden? He was in first, and then he dropped down to 2nd, and then he had a DNF. So Camden might have had something for Mayfield after his impressive drive at Fallbrook. AJ indeed was Infinity and from Spokane. Thank you, sir. Jermaine was the LCQ transfer. Awesome. That's why LCQs are awesome, right? Always love LCQs. Oh, Camden snapped the universal. Shit, that sucks. Jermaine was fast all race. When he broke into the semi, he was 2nd in his heat. Okay. All right. Cool. Well, that is all I have. Congratulations. I think that is it. That is the last race of the year. Got to be like big race. And then, of course, in 2 weeks' time, we start. Lutz didn't make the final. Ooh, what happened to Lutz? What happened to him? Somebody let me know. WIRC, new pro driver announcer coming in hot. Ooh. Give us a hint, WIRC USA. The first big race is actually, I'm thinking 10 scale, Clash. It's New Year's. And then Silver State the weekend after. Busy January and early February. Lutz lost to Jermaine in the LCQ. Wow, well, what was Lutz in the LCQ? What did he break to be in the LCQ? Let me know. I am going to get ready. Let's get ready, guys. We're going to get into silly season. That is brought to you by J Concepts and ML Toys.
Are you looking to take your ride-on car to the next level? ML Toys makes it easy with plug-and-play modifications like motors, speed and brake controls, and more. ML Toys is the one-stop shop to make your ride-on car the coolest car in the neighborhood.
All righty then. Thank you to ML Toys and thank you to J Concepts for all that continued support. Hold on, guys. TSSR 1018 line was lights out faster and buggy than Mayfield at US Open. Awesome. I didn't make it to that race, to be honest. I think I fell asleep early on Sunday. So interesting. Lime is on fire right now. It's gonna be interesting. He should be primed and ready for Silver State. Silver State is gonna be interesting. All right, we're going to get into some silly season stuff. And if you guys listened to my live last week, where I talked about my this Hong Nor thing. So basically my theory last week was that I think that Hong Nor and A-Main have worked out something where basically A-Main is going to distribute Hong Nor and possibly create a ready-to-run line of cars. That's my tinfoil hat conspiracy, because I also heard for many weeks and months that AMAN was trying to buy Team Associated, and I don't know what happened with that. But it looks like right now, we saw Chad Bradley with a Hong Nor. We've seen this new Hong Nor. I don't know much about it. I heard it looks very much like a HB. Chad Bradley built one. I see like Matt Sistrong's got one. He's a guy down in Texas. But then Wally was building one. And anyway, Wally announced last week. I talked about Wally announcing he's leaving Associated, because he's been with Associated for quite some time. He worked for Associated 2 times. I think this is his 2nd time leaving Associated. Anyway, he left Associated. He does work for AMAN, and now he's going to run the Hong Nor. So he ran the Hong Nor this past weekend, and he was joking about it while he said this is what he wrote. He said, while the OnlyFans announcement was a joke to try and throw off us, the No Name RC podcast, the real release is that I'll be driving, representing AMAN hobbies, and running the Hong Nor. All right, I do apologize, guys. Sometimes the internet goes in and out around this time, I've noticed. So I do apologize. If it goes out and I'm not back, then I'm out. Need the no gas hole version of the Hong Nor. I don't know what that means. Anyway, yeah, looks like AMAN is really starting to push. We're back. Where did we finish? Where did I finish talking? Where did I finish talking? What was my last words? I'm back. All right. Yes. So AMAN is the exclusive. It looks to be the exclusive distributor of Hong Nor. And I know Hong Nor, from what I'm told, Hong Nor makes a lot of ready-to-run stuff. I think that something's collaborating her and something's brewing. And if that's the case, that means I have a feeling that we're going to see AMAN get into racing hard and the RTR world hard, going after companies like Traxxas and Arma and other RTRs within the world. So it's going to be very interesting to see. While Wally may not be some AMAN pro driver, he works for AMAN. He races a lot in California. You know, he's well known within the industry. So I think you just keep watching this. And they say to reread Wally's statement. Okay, I will do that. Let me bring it up. Nick. Wow, the OnlyFans announcement was a joke to try and throw off the No Name RC podcast. The real release is that I'll be driving and representing AMAN hobbies and running the Hong Nor X5B. Day one with the car was extremely successful, picking up where I had left off with my previous car only a few tanks in. So far, right off the bat, the X5B is super easy to drive, responds well to minor changes, and allows you to push the car pretty hard without fear of being edgy. He says, yesterday the track was at TNS, was semi-rough, had no water for most of the day, and he was on TZO tires. So, yeah, he goes on to say different things that he did. And, yeah, so watch that space. I expect to see a big push of Hong Nor, former Jammin. I think their latest reiteration is the IGT8, which is based off of this chassis, which is a GP car. I do believe Hong Nor makes the GP car as well. So he is definitely a good face to have drive the car, good social media presence, maybe a good team manager at some point for the race team. Notch, interesting time, but what worries me is big bank taking the little bank. We see that smaller companies will be more susceptible to acquisition. I mean, but would you rather have them be bought out, or would you rather have them die into oblivion? Hong Nor, aka Offner. No, you got it wrong. Offner was actually aka Hobao and Hong Nor. Offner back in the day was the US distributor of Hobao and Hong Nor. So basically the Hyper 7 and the Hyper, not the Hyper 9. Oh, what was it called? I think it was just called the Hong Nor 9 point something. And later on, which became the Jamin car. So there we go. Oh my goodness. Jerry says, I'm sticking with all my sponsors 2026, Philip Morris Tobacco Company, Pepsi Company, Diet Mountain Dew, Pyromax Bank, and the ability to make my own money. I did see Tyler Jones's post. We talked about Tyler Jones last week, the engine posts. So it looks like Tyler Jones is on a new engine. I wonder what that is. Was he on Nova previously? What was he on previously? He has had a run with Nova. Maybe going back to Nova. Who knows? All right. So what do you guys think about what if fucking Tyler Jones goes to WIRC? He did say he's going somewhere with balls. And someone just said WIRC. Good silly season sleuthing there. Marine Armani. Good silly season sleuthing. Maybe Reds, Carl Vucinet, Captain Carl. Could be Reds. To be fair, Tyler Jones is a part-time racer. I don't know how much it will cost to have him on there. Oh, I missed it. Tyler Jones just announced to WIRC, someone says. While I was doing this, so I missed it. Oh, wow. Let's bring that up. Thank you. I missed that completely. Here it is. Let's bring that up. Tyler Jones, what does the announcement say? Here it is. Pumped to announce that I have joined WIRC Professional RC Cars and WIRC USA Factory Team. I would like to thank Eddie Franco for making this happen. Sweet. Let's see where it goes. I don't see much WIRCs anymore since they moved out to the West Coast. I know there's a few people out there. So there we go. I just missed that. There we go. Jones to WIRC. What do you guys think about that? I know WIRC is under different management and different ownership now, but I think they were at their best when they were doing it on the Ascended RC. They were doing quite good. But let's see what Jones does. I mean, he is a part-time racer. I don't know if this allows him to race full-time or on a part-time basis. Maybe we saw somebody from WIRC in here, so maybe they can let us know. So we shall see what comes of that. But I'm not gonna lie. We've seen this happen with WIRC before. We saw it with Lutz. It didn't work out. That was a whole different circumstance. So I don't know. Has Tyler been on WIRC before? No, he went Agama. So we'll see. How old is Tyler Jones? 25, 26. He's got a kid. Okay. All right. Well, there we go. Silly season is happening while we do this. So I didn't know that. Well done. Well done. I think that's a decent sign-in for WIRC. They got a lot of work ahead of them, though. He's got to be at races, and they got to have some presence there. Like I said, the best I saw it was, I think, when Ascended RC had him. So good luck to WIRC, and let's see what they do. They seem to be a big brand in New Zealand, Australia, decent size too. Someone was telling me. All right, let's get into some of the other stuff. So Schimmel out at X-Ray. And we actually have a poll going on right now, but where people think that he will go. And it's 53 votes and 57% say Schumacher. If you listen to the podcast with Brock Champlin that we did, he did mention that they are looking at somebody new. So, I mean, the hottest, Schimmel is out at X-Ray. Let's talk about that first. Schimmel out at X-Ray. Schimmel was very good at X-Ray. I think he started on X-Ray early, a little, maybe around Cleveland time last year, and he's finished around Cleveland time this year. I thought Schimmel, he won a national championship with him. He's always consistently racing. He probably said, hey, I want to get a bigger paycheck or better paycheck or something, and probably wanted to use his, which he can. He has a national title that he can use. I did reach out to him. Let me see what he says. I can't be too long too. I got to pick up my daughter in a few hours before we get going. So I got people sending me message about this. But Schimmel said to me, he goes, I said, have you got a statement? He goes, it's obviously an amazing year for myself, and I'm extremely grateful to have parted ways on good terms with RC America, X-Ray, and I'm looking forward to kicking off the year at the Clash. Can't thank everybody for the support and year into the future. So he's been very political about it. But I would assume X-Ray was flying high at the beginning of the year and kind of petered out at the end of the year this year, as we've talked about. Maybe they just had to make changes. I'm pretty sure Dakota is going to be the #1 guy there because he does 8 scale and 10 scale at the same time. So Schimmel's got to go where his 10 scale program will get him some money or more money because he's an adult. He's got to make some money at this. So I assume the general consensus is it's not confirmed, but the hottest, most clearest rumor is that he's going to Schumacher. All right. Now, I mean, this only makes sense, right? Where does Schimmel fit in the Schumacher team? So I think he fits in kind of where he was in the X-Ray team, in the middle, fast enough to win races, still playing second fiddle to Brock. You got Tom Rinderneck there. You got Cole Tallard, Nate Sutherland, who will be moving up as well. So Schumacher actually has quite a lot of guys, unless Schumacher is planning for Nate to stay down another year and do some more stock running, but we shall see. If he goes to Schumacher, I think he kind of goes into the same situation he was in at X-Ray, kind of not the top guy, but still one of the top guys, because Brock will be the top guy, then it'd be Schimmel, then maybe or Rinderneck or whatever. So if he goes to Schumacher, he's kind of in the same atmosphere, but maybe, when I say same situation where he's not the top guy, but maybe he's in a better atmosphere with Schumacher that he likes and prefers, that can nurture him a little bit better, and he can focus on his racing. Some rumors have been said S-Works is a possible answer for him as well. I mean, I would assume that S-Works will want to get their 10 scale program going, but I can't see him not going S-Works without having to do 8 scale at the same point, which he could do. So that is possible. People have said PR Racing. Why not? I mean, PR is there to fill a gap in RC racing right now, or be a part of it. Maybe they really step out this year with a big name driver for once and get there. They have signed drivers before, but never really did anything seriously. So PR Racing may be going out for it. Mugen is going to need a 10 scale racer, but I would assume they will want somebody who does 10 scale and 8 scale. I'm not saying that Brennan can't do 8 scale, but as you guys know, we shall see. But Mugen is a possibility. And then I threw in there, what about some team like Serpent? Brennan, if I'm not mistaken, might have ran Serpent back in the day in 8 scale. Maybe not. But anyway, let's say he didn't. We see Serpent signing some off-road racers. We see Serpent still viable in on-road. Will they make a push in off-road? There is rumors of maybe signing Cavallari at the end of last year. Maybe TLR. Look, Kevin Caston brings up another point. Maybe TLR comes back with a driver. Maybe it's Brennan Schimmel. there's quite a few possibilities for Brendan Schimmel right now, I would say. Out of all these guys, he has quite a lot. I think he has some of the most opportunities because he has matured and blossomed as a racer, like what he was kind of supposed to do in the 10 scale world. He won a national title. He's been a threat. He's confident, and he's like his own guy now. So let's see what happens to Schimmel. But I mean, the easiest, Yokomo could make a comeback. I mean, they have people racing the Yokomo. There are people racing the Yokomo at the Worlds. Will they make a comeback to have a paid driver? Who knows? Who knows? We shall see. So what do you guys think? Right now, our poll has him 56% going to Schumacher. What about Associated? I put Associated on there. What about Associated? There might be, what if there's some shuffling in Associated? What if somebody's not an Associated going into 2026 and they need to fill that void? But I think Associated is the probably longest shot out of all of them, in my opinion. What's up, Bob's RC? Curtis Wong, AJ at AE now. Who's AJ? Shimmer to Yokohama. Hashtag would be a mistake. Who knows? Only one person knows at this point, and it's Shimmer, and he said it will be announced shortly. But I personally think it's Schumacher. All right. Up next, Nate Sutherland is 10 scale south. Nate the Great out at R1. So he raced R1, I don't know how many years. So I look at it this a couple of ways. He's moving up to mod. I think this year that's the goal for him to race mod. He could possibly go back down to stock. I personally think he should run both. R1's coming out with a car. Dominic Passioni has it. It's pretty much production, two-wheel drive. Maybe pressure to run the R1 car or stay on Schumacher. Maybe we'll see R1 pick up somebody. They have Dominic. Maybe they'll pick up somebody else as well this year. We'll see. There are rumblings of this, of a top 10 scale driver maybe going there. But I think that Nate is going to EXALT. He was at the EXALT race this past weekend. He seems to have a great relationship with Kevin Abbott and these guys. So maybe going to EXALT, maybe going to run their stock program and mod program. I know they have some new stock stuff out. Brendan Schimmel was testing it at Cleveland. So maybe we'll see that happen with him. And will R1 claim any top drivers this year? Let us know in the chat. What's up, Frank Sell? He says, home with a hustle. How are you, sir? And Rappy D, he's 100% going to EXALT. Did you win that Tekno just now? Because there's somebody Rappy. Are you? Let's see. Are you Keaton? Oh, it's Raddy. Sorry, not you. Not you. I do apologize. I was at the race. All right. So yeah, I have no doubt that it's going to EXALT. I would not be surprised. Oh, it's Raymond Gaginski. Raymond Gaginski. All right. So for you guys who are patrons and YouTube members, you'll probably get the Nicola Moroni podcast today or tomorrow. And I'm just about to get into some tire talk here, Chris Harris. There you go. You tuned in just in time. You know, you just tuned in just in time. It's a lot of tire talk. So we're going to, just for Chris Harris, we're going to have to play an ad because he just reminded me about something.
Stop scrolling. You want to be Lewis Hamilton? Learn something new with invisible speed. You can't do everything at 100% maximum speed. You have to be smooth. I mean, when you drive a real car, if you drive a real car, how do you just, when you get to a 90-degree corner to turn into the parking lot, do you go like that with the steering wheel? Do you like slam on the throttle and the brake? No. You probably turn the wheel smooth and get on the throttle smooth. Same thing with an RC car. If you want to learn more and make your speed visible, stop scrolling.
Thank you, Invisible Speed. We're trying to get Invisible Speed to give us some gifts, some giveaways for the Christmas giveaway. Let's see what JQ gives us. All right. So tire talk. Everybody's getting excited. We got Tony Schumacher, Chris Harris. So if you are a patron or YouTube member, you will get early access to the interview I did with him today or tomorrow, one of the two. I heard Track Tack is releasing a new tire prep this weekend. I heard it's pretty good too. I heard Track Tack should sponsor the No Name RC podcast in 2026. There you go, Chris Harris. Then we can always push Track Tack. That would be great. So as we know, Marco Barufalo is out of Hot Race, and this is probably hurt Nicola the most. And he talks about this, and we talk about this. He talks about some other drivers that are leaving and why these drivers are leaving and why he refuses to do what they want. Right. So it's a good chat with him. But Marco has been a very, very close to Nicola for many years. Right. And this is the second time he's left. And just real quick, when is your Christmas show? Asked Kevin Caston. The Elite Christmas show is next Monday. I don't know when the NNRC show might be. It might be after Christmas. We might do an after Christmas show. I need to get with Max and see what he's going to do. But anyway, back to tire talk. So Marco is out. Now, Marco is running Kyosho. And from what I can tell is that he is running a brand of tire that Kyosho Europe sells or distributes. I believe they distribute Matrix. I believe they distribute Jetco, and I could be wrong. I think they might distribute OGO. So I think it's running one of those tires. We shall see. I haven't been made clear what brand, but that's my assumption. That's kind of what I heard. And then I heard there's two more top Euro 1/8 scale drivers out at Hot Race. Top drivers. One a European champion, and the other been with Hot Race for a long time. One possibly going to VP Pro, and the other possibly going to Pro Circuit. So that will be interesting to see. And of course, Hot Race is making a big push. Excuse me. Excuse me. Thank you, Jimmy863. He became a new member. I do appreciate that. Use some of those emojis that we have in there. They are making a big push in 10 scale. They had a very good year in 10 scale. Chase Lemieux, Aiden Horn, very good for them, and a few other guys. And I think that Factory Tracks is going to sign for them. And he said that he's trying to get some other top 10 scale talent as well. So it'd be interesting to see who goes to Hot Race. They have some good 10 scale tires. And he's working on a compound and a tread pattern for those Southeast indoor racing for 8 scale as well. So Hot Race is definitely pushing. All YouTube members and patrons will get early access of that podcast with no ads, by the way. So it'd be good to just keep your eyes open. I know there's some things coming. VP Pro. We saw VP Pro sign, I believe it was Barkan Killick. And now they're signing another top 8 scale talent in Europe, which I know they're going to have to pay. Are we going to see VP Pro make a push for a USA top talent driver with tires? VP Pro has been around for a long time. They make this themselves. I'm sure they make tires for many other companies. Are we seeing VP Pro pushing hard into the racing side of things and maybe going after some top talent? They're already going after top European talent. Will we see some USA talent? I haven't heard anything as of yet, but I will not be surprised if anything like that happens, right? So we shall see. All right. So those are some of the things I've been kind of hearing that are kind of really in my ear, and almost, I would say, the chance of those things kind of happening are pretty good. I've also heard some rumors about things that VP Pro is VP. So there's VP Fuels, and then there's VP Pro. It's a tire company, accessory company for been around for years. Also, don't forget that Raw Speed on a new ownership, they might be looking for somebody too as well. I haven't heard anything. I wonder if there is anything going on. I haven't been privy to anything. People think people just give me information. I have to work on a lot of this stuff. But it seems like VP Pro is gonna maybe push and get into some money. And there we go. Chad Speck says the hot race tire is much better at Beachline than JC. If they had used that at FCC, there would have been no issue. Should have been an open tire race. It's mod and stock racing, not spec racing. Well, they did have open tire in those classes. They had open tire in the top stock classes and the mod classes as well. So that was not a problem. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see. Now, the next rumors I'm going to talk about, I have just heard them. I have no confirmation whatsoever. I'm trying not to like say that these people, this is what's going to happen, but we have to kind of talk about this. And it's about X-Ray. Yeah, stock was open tire as well, Chad. Regular stock was open tire, from what I was told. Why is sourcing and cheating at FCC allowed? Who did they catch sourcing and cheating? Nobody. Nobody was reported. There's only rumors afterwards. Nobody went up. If people really wanted to catch people sourcing and cheating, they would have went up and said something to the people involved, or they would have grabbed the video of it. That's what would have happened. Anyway, back to what I was going to talk about. Tater Sontag. Now, this is kind of like a rant in itself. So, Tater Sontag, 2023 world champion, two-wheel drive, been racing since he was a wee lad. And Charlie Albrecht, aka Bitters, in the house. I can feel it. I can feel the hammer coming out very shortly. Very shortly. I can feel it. It doesn't last long. He doesn't last long in the chats. Tater out at X-Ray. I think he's kind of out at X-Ray. I've heard many rumors how he wasn't really getting. I've heard so much stuff. I don't know what's true or not, right? But anyway, it's been kind of a bit of a fall from grace, from winning a 10 scale worlds to being where he is at this moment. Yes, exactly, Chad. Expert was open. Intermediate and 21.5 were spec tires. Vacant pixel. We saw the hell out of tires at AMS. Yeah, but it's not against the rules at AMS. Oh, man. Tater will always be a whiner and emotional little boy, even when he's older. Oh, well, jeez, he's only fucking 19. Vacant pixel, S-Works signs, warm body. Wow. You guys are so... Anyway, let's get back to that. You guys are distracting me here. Jesus. The rumor is that he's pretty much done at X-Ray. Now, I've said for a few times I thought Mugen would be a good fit for Tater. I don't think that's going to happen. But here's the other thing. I've heard that it's possible that he might be going to S-Works. I'm also heard he might be getting a real job and then doing this part-time. I don't know what the deal is with Tater. I'm just heard these type of things. But I wanted to kind of look at, if he did go to S-Works, why I think this would be a good move for him and why I think the system has ultimately failed Tater. But I'm going to get into that a little bit more. If he goes to S-Works, I actually think this would be a good fit. I believe S-Works can get him fairly cheap because, you know, his value, his stock is not as high as it was when he came out of the Worlds after the last year. By the way, it's Sam Arsenal. Okay. I'm going to get into you guys' questions here in a minute. S-Works, they want to push their new two-wheel drive and four-wheel drive platforms. So here you have a proper 10 scale racer. We can still battle it out. He still has the talent to do well, and he can drive 8 scale as well. So you add another 8 scale driver to your team. So it'd be like him, Camden Lime, Fullers, and that'd be their main team. So I can see that being possible. I can see Camden Lime and probably Mason Fuller doing some 10 scale racing next year, and we'll see how it is. Isn't Camden the alpha at S-Works? I don't think Camden is the alpha. Mason Fuller is the alpha. But that doesn't mean Tater's not no alpha at X-ray. So he can be the alpha 10 scale guy though, because they don't have nobody else that does 10 scale only or 2. I'm not saying that Camden Lime or Mason can't do 10 scale to his level, but if he does go to SRX, I actually think this is a good sign, and I think he could make the best of it. And he kind of breaks away from being Fenn's protege. So that's my thoughts on that, if that possibly happens. Kevin Castor, with Tater accomplishing the goal any professional aims for, once you get to the top, some guys don't put the time in anymore like he was trying to get to the top. I don't think that's the case with Tater. So why did the system do? Should I go on with the rest of my silly season stuff? Or should I go on to why I think that the system failed Tater? Let me go on to why I think the system failed Tater. And this is not, I don't know where Tater Sontag's going. I don't know if he's out of RC, if he isn't, if he is or he's not. Is he a friend of mine? Not really. Have I talked to him much? No. But what he is a good RC car driver. And he is a world champion. And he's 19 years old. And he's been doing this since he was a little kid, right? He's been doing this since he was 8. Now, there is a problem right there, because it was a time when grown men wanted to beat the crap out of this little kid because he was so rude, right? We all have heard the stories about Tater. He was a very rude kid. I'm sure his dad had to calm down a lot of issues and all that type of stuff. No, he's not like that anymore. Is he the most personal kid? Not really. Personal driver at the track? No, not really. He's very much to himself. He doesn't say much. He's kind of to himself, right? I've never had any bad interaction with Tater Sontag, so I can't say anything. But obviously, from the past, people have had experience with him. But I think as of now, I would say as he got into his later teens, he's been he's always been respectful to me. And he's also exactly Kevin Carson. You and I are on the same mission here. Anyway, my point of it being is that he's changed a lot from when he was a little kid, right? And while he may not be, I think he's just an awkward person. Like a lot of RC people are. A lot of people are introverted, and RC people, a lot of RC people are introverted. I'm completely different from that. Anyway, that's my point on that. But what this young man has done, he's won a lot of races. He's done well. He's raced at a professional level. He's won a world championship. Here we are, 2 years after his world championship, possibly talking about him being out of RC at 19 years old, 18, 19 years old. Is that a lot to do with Tater and maybe not building a proper brand for himself and his past? Yes. But is it a lot to do with the system that we've created in RC, not rewarding this and not having a clearer path for this kid? Absolutely. We've seen this happen. Kevin Caston brings it up. When I look at Tater Sontag, I look at somebody like Steven Hartson, who won a full. But I would say that Tater Sontag is at a higher level of racing prior than going into the world to Steven Hartson. Like Tater was traveling for a long time. Raced a lot with TLR, raced a lot of 8 scale, a lot of 10 scale over his years. So my point is that I feel that the system has failed it for these young racers. Like here we have a kid who did what he had to do, win a world championship. Okay, the last 2 years have not been the best for him. They've not been great. Not as good as he's been. And here we're talking about him possibly being out of the industry. I think that's kind of sad, to be honest. I don't know how to fix it. I don't know what the difference should be, but I think it's kind of sad that you can be a world champion and 2 years later possibly be out of RC. And I'm not saying he's out of RC. And I'm not saying that a lot of this isn't his fault, but there should be there has to be a better way to promote young drivers. And that brings me to think about a lot of these young drivers. A lot of these young drivers are able to do this, like the Aiden Horns, like the Mason Fullers, like Brandon Rose, maybe. But these type of racers, Tater Sontag, Brennan Schimmel, Davey Bada, these caliber of racers are still young men. I would say between 18 and 21, maybe a little bit older, probably still able to live at home and not have to pay a lot of bills because they're not making a lot of money. They're not making Mayfield money, Dakota Fenn money, Rana Falk, Ongaro type of money. They're making just enough. They're probably making a decent amount of money, but not enough to stay out and, you know, live that life. They probably still have to live at home to save money and all that type of stuff. So, while I'm not saying if Tater is not for fault for lots of things that have happened to him throughout his years, he still is a world champion. He won that. And I know people say he hasn't done anything since then. But imagine if you're a young racer coming up and this Tater Sontag wins it at 17, I think he won the worlds, maybe 16, 17, wins the world championship, and now on the verge of being out. You're like, why would I want to do this? And he's capable of winning. He's capable of winning and doing well. That's not a problem. Everybody has a slump, but I think the industry and the system has failed him. There should have been, I don't know what could have been done, but this is the second time I've seen this. That's my thoughts on this. I was thinking about this morning, actually, as I was writing some notes. And like I said, I'm not saying that he isn't at part to play this. I'm not saying he isn't. What Brian Cross, not the first time it happened. What happened to Cody King? Well, Cody King self-destructed his career through drugs. That's what happened to Cody King. He had all the opportunities in the world and fucking flushed them down the toilet. That's what happened to Cody King. That you can't compare that. So that's my thoughts on that. With Tater, if he's out, it's not good for the industry because a 19-year-old world champion shouldn't be out. Now, if he was 28, 29 years old with 3 children and struggling to make it, different story. But I'm not saying he's out. I'm just saying that might be the thing. So. Exactly. Drugs are much different. Very unfortunate what happened to Cody King. But that's a story that happens to many people. And his story wasn't unusual from what I'm heard. But from what I'm told, he seems to be clean and sober and living a life and working and doing what he's got to do. So that's good. That is good. What do you guys think about Tater? Let me know. Do you think I'm on? Do you understand where I'm coming from? Maybe he's doing school things. Maybe, Kevin. I think he was pursuing a professional RC career. He still has time to go do school things. But I just think that I don't think he was making a money that a world champion should be making after he wins a world championship. That's my thoughts on it. From the rumors, from what I've been told about his contract and what was happening with him, he wasn't making much at all. He says, good morning, Lefty. Pikes Peak RC news, but out here in Guam. Nice. Life is about choices. It's plain and simple. 100% agree with you there. Jerry Kleinbell. I think Tater would do better on a team if people his age instead of always being in Fenn's shadow. Maybe that's something he needs to do too. Come from under Fenn's shadow. I agree with you there. That's a great segue into our next subject, which is actually about Dakota Fenn. I have no idea what's going on here, but Dakota Fenn was in Florida with his family this past weekend. I have no idea what they were down there for. I don't know if they were down there for a quick family vacation. I don't know if it was a work slash vacation. I don't know if he went down there to test something new. But I find it very surprising that Dakota Fenn and his family are in Florida near the end of the year. That's all I'm going to say about that. All I'm going to say after this is be watching out for, I think there's a lot of big news to be dropping here in the next couple of weeks and in January. That's all I'm going to say about that. That's all I'm going to say about that. It's also different money now too. It's not like in the 90s and the 2Ks money was more plentiful than not nearly as many distractions. Yeah, all of that stuff. But if you're going to be a professional driver, maybe he found one thing that kills all RC races. A girl. Maybe he did. Maybe he did. Maybe he doesn't want to do RC full time. Maybe he wants to get a job, have steady money, and do RC part time. It's a grind, man. Who knows? I just think that there should be more options for a world champion. That's all. I'm sorry, in our sport. It doesn't matter that it's Tater. It could be for anybody. And as for Dakota Fenn, you know my old saying, where there's smoke, there's fire. My silly season Spidey sense was tingling this weekend. Silly season so bad, Max won't even speak to me anymore. I don't know what Max is plotting. Oh, he's trying to play. He's like, you wait, I've got something for you. We'll see. Chase is the fastest USA driver for X-Ray as of late. He has been very good. Very good. Very good for X-Ray. X-Ray still has a solid team. They have him. If Schimmel out, they'll have Fend, Chase. Who else? They have Dustin Fox. Maybe making, I don't think Fox is going to move up. Maybe X-Ray makes a play for somebody in 10 scale. We'll see. We shall see. Lots of silly season moves coming in 10 scale. Jimmy Cooper. Maybe he was at Triple Nickel. I heard that too. I heard he was there. I heard he was at some other place too. But you know, everybody's keeping quiet. I asked Finn and he goes, this was his answer. I'll tell you his answer. I said, so you think I didn't see? I saw you was in Florida this weekend. And he goes, he gives me two big eyes. He goes, yeah, you Dax? He goes, Dax wanted to hang out with Lance for the day, and it's a little cold for running in Indiana right now. And her Max thinks people just give me information. No, I have to pick the bones out of that. All right. What do you guys think? Do you think Fend is changing something big in his program? Or is he just on there running some stuff? Also, I've been told to watch out for some big news coming up in the next 2 weeks. Nothing to do with a particular driver. Just said big news, and you'll be shocked when you see it. That's all. This is the type of cryptic messages I get from people. So let's see. All right. You know what? Let's pay some bills. Hey, we guys, I want to thank Dollar Hobbies for coming on to the end of this year. I think they're going to be done at the beginning. They're going to be done, but you can still use that 10% code at Dollar Hobbies. And hopefully they come back on next year. Remember, we do have a few spots open. If you're interested in advertising on the podcast, let us know. Huh. You know what, Jason Lean? That's actually a good thing. I never even thought of that. Maybe it's electronics. I doubt it, though. We'll see. We'll see. We shall see. All right, everybody. So we have been going on for 98 minutes. So now we're going to take some questions. We didn't reach our full. We have not reached. Well, we have reached 10 starred. We have us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 super chats and 2 new members. We still need to get 4 more super chats. So if you have a question, then you want me to spend some time on it, super chat. Write it down and give me credit when it was. Yes, we talked about our RC Amigos. We talked about Die Hard. I was looking for some older pictures of it, and I missed it. They have a GoFund set up for them as well. I hope they can get in there and salvage a lot of stuff there. But I know, man, I've had to deal with flooding as well, so it sucks. Anybody that know if like X-Ray and Associated coach their top drivers and learning them to set up cars, or do they sign and just get expect to do results? I think they expect results. I'm pretty sure they get together and get people on the team up to speed. Obviously, sharing with each other. So I guess I tell people all the time that they have to give these drivers first shake at these cars. They have to learn these cars and be uber competitive right off the bat with people who have been comfortable with their cars for long. Chris Harris, maybe it's rubber. Pros are all running the same rubber sometimes. You have to be different and find the edge. I think so. Maybe he is trying a different tire. Who knows? Guys want to get paid too. I saw a question. Kevin Casson, I'll ask it. Every year it gets asked, will Mayako sign anyone? I mean, I know they want to. I think they want to. It's the question of will they do it? I don't know if we're going to see much moves in the 8-scale chassis market because a lot of guys are kind of locked in. So I don't know. I know they want to. I think we'll see. I like what Greg Holland says. You bring what you bring to the team and then share among each other. Pretty much. NRTV, what is actually the best 110 scale buggy, not the driver? People ask me this question about 8-scale buggies as well. What's the best 8-scale buggy I can get? Now, I'm sure there are. I am not an expert on 10-scale stuff, and I'm sure you get a billion answers about which buggy is the best out there. I mean, I don't know. You don't have nowhere near as much choices in 10-scale as you do in 8-scale. I don't know what part of the world you're in, but I would say I don't know. I can tell you what I would do, and maybe that will help you out. And I don't think this is the best buggy or not, but I personally would probably get an associated buggy. And why would I get an associated buggy if I was to race 10-scale? I would probably only race 10-scale once or twice a year, and I'd probably race outdoor dirt and then carpet. I know that's completely two different races, but I would get an associated just because I know anywhere in Florida, there's people running associated cars and I could get help. I get some parts for it. Now that's switched up a lot because now lots of people are running Schumacher and X-Ray. He says, come on, say TLR. If you want to get a TLR, you can get it too. But I don't know what the best car is out there. Just like somebody tells me what's the best 8-scale car. I don't think there's a best 8-scale car out there. I think there's so many brands out there and so many good drivers. I would get the car that I feel I can have for myself personally, the ease of having parts and just, I'm not going to go uber fast. So I don't know what the best car is out there. I know what I want. I want to try one of those wheel speed conversions on a B7 with the cantilever shock systems. They look good. And you gave me another super chat, said, come on, say TLR. I will tell you what. I will tell you this. I thought that we would see no TLRs at these races, and I am actually seeing a good bit. Not a whole bunch, but I've seen a lot of 10 TLRs at the 10-scale races I've been to, and there's been quite a bit at the 8-scale races. Not as much as I would say it used to be, but definitely at these races. They haven't gone anywhere. They're still out there racing. Yeah, find out where your local track. These are the answers I would give to everybody. Revolution Motorsports building my son a new SRX S12 3C right now. I have no idea what that is. I do not know what the names are. Dakota was with that 22.5.0 was fire. Yeah, but Dakota won races this year too. He won a Dakota with his X-Ray 8-scale buggy won more races this year than he did last year with the TLR buggy. I'm just saying. He also raced the TLR for 20 years. How was JQ and Pecco's time in China at the GDC race? Well, they've been in China for 7 weeks. So I talked to Pecco. He cannot wait to get home. He gets home tomorrow. We're going to record this weekend because he's not got much time home. He's going to Silver State. So we're going to record. I want to do a live show. Should I do a live show with Pecco? I don't know. I saw some rumblings on Facebook about HB getting part shipment soon. Hope they make a comeback. I don't know what's going to happen with HB. I think by the time they do come back, so many people, it's going to be more brands out. So they're going to have even more competition. The legacy of HB will be a legacy. A legend. That's it. It will not be the same. Yes, you should do a Pecco live. Yeah, but it's going to be the weekends. We don't really do nothing on the weekends. We'll see. We'll see what happens. There's a lot more drivers than paid spots. I'm not sure what that's in contention to Mr. Mike Winders, but maybe you can elaborate a little bit. I wish Silver State wasn't so early this year. We were really trying to get the girls' team to go down there. Yeah, I think that early time has messed up quite a lot of people, to be honest. So I don't know what the attendance of Silver State will be next year. I think it will be a decently attended and comfortable race for the people racing, but I also understand that Joey has to make money. So he needs the entrance to make money. Okay, Kevin Casson, what do you think about every class having a gatekeeper? Like people giving Degani shit for running intermediate, but he's still fast and a good judge for someone if there's ready to move up a class. I think it's great, and here's why. Because I think we should look at RC racing like video games. I've been thinking about this, and I've been wanting to do a video about it, and I've talked about it, but. In video games, look at it. I would say the legacy of HB is Ty Tessman and Asushi Hara, Cody Dudley. So, what was he talking about? Gatekeepers. So, in every video game, every level, I will use for us old school guys out there who remembers Mike Tyson Punch-Out, or whatever video game you have where you play the campaign and each level you go to, you get stronger as a individual. You build up. Let's say you're using UFC, boxing, or whatever. You build up as an individual. You get better. You can do exercises where you get better, and then you as an individual, you face opponents that are better. So every level you go up, you also have to face somebody that's hard, right? So if you come to the top of sportsman class and it's easy, and you kick ass, and there's nobody up there to challenge you, and that might happen. You might be that fast, and you probably go up to intermediate. But it should be hard at the top A final, at the top 5 of these each class. It should be hard in sportsman. It should be hard in intermediate. Intermediate is probably the most competitive and hardest of the classes out there. And it's because guess what? When you're in that C main of pro, it's hard. So yes, I'm fine with gatekeepers because there should be hard. And Degani is fast and intermediate, but he's in the C main and pro, and he only uses he'll tell you all the time he only uses intermediate for 40 plus. So it should be hard. My cousin, when are you coming to visit? No idea. RC Amigas, those gatekeepers are also learning how to lead and defend before they move up. I have my kids stay in a novice class a season longer for that. Yeah, I think one of the biggest things people do, I saw some drivers, right? And they had never been to, I'll use race time. I think they came to one of the race time events, and the intermediate class at race time events is very hard. It's very hard at PNB and Silver State as well. And they didn't win it. They were fast, but they didn't win it. And then the next year they moved up to pro. And that's like, I think you should have won that. Like you should have won an intermediate first. And I think you should dominate intermediate first before you go up. Because once you get to pro, unless you're extremely talented and fast, your ego and your talent is going to take such a bashing, right? I think the only successful person who skipped intermediate is Long. He went from sportsman to pro, but he was a phenomenal, like he's got it, right? You know, it's different. So that's my thoughts. Rory Holler, thank you for the $10, my friend. I'm going to put that in the RC Submarine Fund. You know what? If people stop pissing and moaning about Greg, they could actually learn something from him. So when I was racing at about a month and a half ago at Mills Point, and it was all blown out, all I kept thinking about was Greg Degani at Silver State going around in the fluff and avoiding all the bumps, and then just driving slow and putt, not flipping. And that's what I did. There is definitely a gap between the fast intermediate and a pro. Some of these intermediates are as good as probably some of these guys in the C-Man and pro. But it should be fast. It should be people. Intermediate should be hard to win. It should be hard to win because guess what? To go anywhere in the pro class is going to be hard. If you're playing video games, I mean, it's no different from any other type of sport. I don't know. The problem is a lot of it's physical. Like if you use collegiate sports like football, I guess, I don't know, high school, college, pro, I don't know. I can't. Local fast guys might be only fast locally if you have no real competition, get into a big race and they stay. Exactly. I tell people all the time, you can be fast regionally. It's always easy to be a big fish in a little pond. It's becoming a big fish in a big pond and racing other fast fish like Jonah the Fish Wilson. Jonah the Fish Wilson. So remember, everybody, next week Monday, 7 p.m., we are doing the Elite RC Productions Christmas show, and we have a bunch of giveaways to give away. 7 p.m. on the Elite RC Productions YouTube and Facebook page. And then, I'm sorry, I've been all clogged up. I was a little bit sick this weekend. I apologize. I need to get some, what's that? Decongestant. Mucinix. That's what I need. Something like that. So we'll be giving away, actually, let me see. Elite might have it up here right now. I know there's a Tekno kit. There's a charger. And you all get one entry. And then what they'll do is you'll spin the wheel, pick an entry, shuffle, spin the wheel for the next prize. There we go. Elite RC Productions free giveaway tickets. So these are the prizes up for grabs. We have a Tekno EB48 2.2 E-Buggy kit, an iCharger, EXALT motor, plus J Concepts goodies. One limit, one free entry per person. Anyone found with more than one entry will be disqualified. Keep it fair. And you must be tuned in live when we draw to win. If you're not watching, we respin and pick again. Woo. So December 22nd, 7 p.m. Be ready. Bold predictions, Lefty. What driver might make the biggest surprise win in 2026? Let me think about that really quick. Mason Fuller. No, that's not a surprise win because he's won already. I want to pick somebody who I think will be a surprise to win the Worlds. Well, maybe Mason Fuller would be a surprise after his bad nationals at the Worlds. But he is. Well, Fuller has made. He won 2 big races this year. Checkered Pass. He swept Silver State and won Wicked Weekend. I think Camden Lime is going to be one of the biggest surprises in 2026. He's been knocking on the door. He got that win at Fallbrook. While it's not a big, giant competitive race, it had a lot of competition there. I think he'll be surprising. And maybe Nate Sutherland. I wouldn't say I would. So this is what I'll be surprised. I'll be if Nate Sutherland wins a mod race next year. I shouldn't say I'll be surprised. I'll be pleasantly surprised. If Nate Sutherland wins a top mod race next year, I'll be surprised. I'm not because I don't think he could do it, that I think it came so fast. So that's my thoughts on that. Little Bump will win a big race this next year. I think Little Bump is what, 14 against 15. So you got 15 next year against 16. He still has time, but I'm sure he would want to win a Nitro race next year. And I think they just need be a little bit more prepared, I would say. That would be my opinion. A big surprise if Tyler Jones wins a race. I'm just being honest with you. I like Tyler Jones. I had a lot of hope for Tyler Jones when he won that last race at PNB, that TLR, and I thought he was going to be that guy to come up and challenge all these guys, but I think he's a great driver. I think if everything's going well from him, he can do well that weekend. Everything, all his ducks are lined up, his T's are crossed, and his I's are dotted. I think he's good, but we'll see. It's hard to be a top tier driver when you're only doing this part time. I will be surprised. I won't be surprised, but I would be pleasantly surprised to see Taylor win some big races next year. I think that it's going to be good. I want to make a prediction on the Worlds, but I can't. It's impossible. Ron Roy, you need to come to March Madness in Arkansas. I think that is AR. FORC Raceway. I would love to go to a lot of places. I would think that one of my goals next year is to actually have a vacation which doesn't involve RC. I don't know if that's going to be possible. Not having RC involved, because I think every place I go, I'm going to have to go see something RC, right? Like I was telling my boy, we should go to Uruguay. I had a friend here from Bermuda who I grew up with. He was a neighbor of mine. He came down here for the first time. And I was like, I really want to go on a vacation. And we was talking about going like South America, Uruguay. And I was like, yeah, I could go down there and then I could link up with the RC. But I kind of do want to link up with the RC guys and do something. And if it's an RC race there, I'll go check it out. But I kind of want to go down just for a vacation. All right, we got some questions here. Can Cav win a big 8 scale using a Mayako? I don't know about win. He can do well. He's showing that he can do well. I don't think Cavallari needs to win anymore. He came second the other day in 10 scale, though. Who do you think is going to be the top 5 young talent going to be the next Dakota Fend or Mayfield? I think the only person that is even on the heels of Dakota Fend and Mayfield right now in America is Mason Fuller. I would say that Brandon Rose is next because he's one of the guys that's beat them. So they both know that they can beat them. Young racers after that, I would say would have to be Feelong. And I honestly, I would throw in a Camden Line, even though it's 18. It's a different age. Honestly, I don't know anybody else in the USA in Fee's age category that is as good as him, or in that 14 to 17-year-old age range that is good enough to chase down Degani and those guys. Oh, Jonah Wilson too. Jonah Wilson's 18. So I have to put him in there as well as one of the guys that I think can beat this. Watch Jonah Wilson. I forgot to mention him previously. But that's in the USA. That's what I think. I think that Dakota Fend, Mayfield will continue to do well until he doesn't. Fuller won 2 races this year. I'm predicting he should win some more. Maybe Royals can get in there and win some as well. Seth Van Dalen's also looking very good, but Seth Van Dalen is doing his part-time, so kind of takes him out. And there's lots of guys doing well, but Seth Van Dalen has not beat these guys. Fuller and Royals are the only one to beat these guys in Pro Nitro Buggy. So that's my thoughts. I thought, Kevin Caston says, Little Bump would be a perfect fit for Mayako, especially with JQ push for helping you with JQ knowledge and Little Bump skills. It'll be perfect. I know JQ really likes him and really wanted to get him on the team. But, yeah. Mike Fuller, you should be allowed 6 wins in intermediate at the Big 7, then forced to move to pro. You should have to win an intermediate to move to pro. I can live with that. I would say, well, in what time frame? Like a year, 2 years, 3 years? I think you should have a win in intermediate to move to pro, or multiple wins. Hunter King, what up, man? Ron Roy, love your content, man. I hope to get to meet you one day as well. And good luck with your race in March. I believe it's in Arkansas, right? TQ Shep, especially driving with a stick radio. It must be talking about. Yeah, but lots of Euro guys drive with stick radios. But we shall see. We shall see. All right. So this week we do have a Nicola Moroni podcast coming out. That will drop on Friday, but it's going to be up for members and Patreons today or tomorrow. If you like what we're doing here, greatly appreciate if you guys go over there and become a YouTube member or a patron. It helps us out, helps me out a lot, to be honest. So I greatly appreciate it. I have links for both of them in the written description on the YouTubes. And you get to hear Nicola's pretty candid. You know, it was a good chat with him. I think it was interesting. We got we talk about his thoughts on spec tire, why he's against it. We talk on drivers and their value. We talk about competition with other tires. It's good. Hunter King, I used a stick radio for a little bit. It's not hard, just different. I used a stick radio. I mean, my first RC car had a stick radio, like a little cheap Tyco or whatever it was. So I couldn't use it now, not with my handicap. I would have to sit down. Jared Tebow's boy looks to be fast down the road. Yep. I was talking to Tebow about that at AMS, and he likes to be in front of the camera. So maybe Nash, I think that's Nash is the one that races, will be that first. Well, I mean, we had Pavitas as well. He was generational. Maybe he'll be like the first world, like almost like American Marcus Carrot. Lefty, is the best strategy for silly season streakers to tell you directly where they are going in confidence and tell you not to share it? If you tell me not to share it, I don't share it, but I will share hints. So you guys have got to sleuth it out. I really get told that things are going to happen. I do, but it's not like what you think it is. It's actually turning out to be a quite interesting silly season. There might be one or two big moves, but not like, lots of little strategic moves. That's what's got me. So Nash is mini Teves. Yeah, could possibly. Boomer Real Alignment's a guy I really think he's going to be a silent assassin for the world title, this 8 scale this year. I tell you what, if Line could get a couple of big race podiums or win, and when I mean big race, he's going to I think he's going to do the TNR race. That'd be a big race this year. Silver State, in Nitro Buggy, I'm talking. A DNC, PMB. If you could get one of these type of race podiums, even a win, yeah, he'd be super confident. The world is awesome. I can't wait. No chance you don't know what Fenn was testing. I don't know for sure. I can't say what for sure. Correct. I don't think you would share it, even if you hear from a different source later, how journalists would morally share something that they already knew about. Well, I haven't heard it from a different source yet. I've only heard it from one. And I haven't even been given yes or no on it. So I don't share things unless I'm positive. But I'm pretty sure he was testing something. I like Jason's theory on electronics. I don't think it was chassis, but it could be tires. It could definitely be tires. The people who are at Triple Nickel know, and the people at Beachline would know, but nobody has messaged me and said anything. Where is the next innovation in 8 scale coming from? I'll tell you where the next innovation in 8 scale is coming from. It is coming from Test Logger. And I did a podcast with him, gathering data from our cars. That's where it's coming from. That's the next innovation. If Fenn told you not to sell and then someone else told you, would you share? Possibly, but I haven't gotten an answer from Fenn. Just vague eye emojis like that. And just that he was down there running. But no idea what he was. But I have an idea. No, I don't like to spread false information unless I get a couple more confirmations. And confirmations, I want pictures. Raymond says, and it's mine not to tell. He must be talking about the secret. I have never, he says, what do you do if all the cease and desist letters you get? Are they framed? I have never received a cease and desist. JQ has. I received a cease and desist email from the owners of HB for something that wasn't even me talking. And I didn't receive it. RC Racing TV received it. And it was actually Nick who was talking, not me. I think CDB9, I always want to say CBD. Doesn't that look like you want to say CBD, but it's CDB? It's like CBD9. Is that some special type of oil? I think you know. Jason Lean says, I'm 95% sure I'm right. Oh, boy. I don't have a podcast. But you live in Florida. You're supposed to be getting the scoop for this type of stuff. But what could Fenn be changing in this program? Electronics sounds good. Didn't he run Trinity? Wasn't he close with Kevin prior to that? He was. I remember when they went to TLR. Sorry, when Trinity Horizon bought TLR. Sorry, bought Trinity. That all stopped. Or did he run Trinity? No, he ran something else for a while. I bet it was a shock system like a baffling system. No, I don't think it was that. Checkered past. Silly season used to be known months later when the magazines printed the announcements. Remembering learning Kinwald with Lucy after Associated. That was huge. I remember that too. That's right. Remember when you had to wait in the magazines for 3 months to find out who went where or her from somebody's mother's, uncle's, brother's, sister's dog? Now I'm being accused of my journalism. I'm sorry. I don't have all the answers. When I do have the answers, I'll give them to you. All right, moving on for 2 hours and 10 minutes. It's 2:15. Congratulations to somebody's messaged me here. Let's see who won that. I said his name earlier. Congratulations to. Why is it not saved? Oh, where is it? Keaton Raddy, you are the owner of a brand new spanky Tekno 2.2 E-Buggy. So congratulations to you. And Harky is my homeboy. That dog sure did know a lot about RC racing silly season. Do you remember when people used to talk about silly season or like secret hushes? Like, hey, I heard that such and such is good, such and such. Do you remember how secret silly season was? You could blame Max for it being like this right now. Where is Aaron Waldron? I actually think Aaron Waldron was a great journalist and a great writer and a great interviewer. I miss his writings. But I do continue my silly season chat in the Patreon. And I get a little bit more in depth about what I hear there. So if you are on the Patreon and you're in our group chats, you will know that I'm busy talking in there. So there we go. Well, we have one relatively big move. Tyler Jones, WIRC. What is he going to? I have a feeling he's probably still going to do it part-time and whatnot. It's going to be a struggle. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be a very small team. Let's see if they participate in the big races and all that stuff, because that's where it takes, and then building a brand up. That brand has tried a few times before. It had some success. It's had some failures. It'll be interesting to see how it goes. Stephen Best is better. I like Stephen Best too, as well. I liked our chat. Maybe I need to have him on again and chat again. Check a pass. Yes, journalists using long-range telescoping lens to get photos of secret product testing. Yeah. Do you remember the ultimate S-grid argument when, may he rest in peace, Ray Sharwin was arguing with people that somebody reset the needles in his son Mikey Sharwin's car, and he has satellite videos of it, and that's why he lost the race? Yeah, I remember that argument or that accusation. Do you think that there will be a manufacturer that will stand out in 2026? Chassis manufacturer. I think the same cars, the same chassis will be good. I think Tekno has been on a good roll this year. I think they'll continue. They got some new stuff for their cars coming out next year. X-Ray with Dakota Fen wheeling, I think should still be good. S-Works with Camden Lime and the Fullers are looking quite good. And if they get Tater, I think it'll be a great addition. In the USA, Associated, Brandon Rose I think Brandon Rose is doing great. I assume you'll see Spencer doing some more 8 scale next year, because it's not a 10 scale world year. So yeah. I don't know what brands like WI. I know it's a long road. It takes a lot of work for brands like WIRC. Hong Nor is going to be something very interesting to watch. I think that might be a standout brand with the money that A-Man has behind it. That's going to be big. What's up? Actually, that's a great question, Chad. I asked in the Discord, but we'll copy here. Does Infinity make any moves for any top pros in the US? I don't think Infinity, I think they do, but they don't have an infrastructure here in the US. So I think it'd be very difficult to do that without having that. And what I mean by infrastructure, a manager to take care of that pro or pros. They could do it all. Kind of like what R2 does, even though there's only, I think it's only Coelho running it right now. But I don't know, man. I think I go back to my original statement is that I think Infinity is going to put the bare minimum into the off-road program because it's not instant success like it was in 8 scale on-road. And I think that's what Kenji likes. But they definitely have the money and funds to do it if they want to do it. If Hong Nor comes out swinging and lands a podium, but they need a driver to do that. Excuse me. They need a driver to do that. And as of now, they haven't hired anybody. Already talked about that. Wally to Hong Nor. And my thoughts on that, Kevin. Did you... Avid chassis. Ooh, did you see that David Drew had an Avid chassis in Ohio recently? Did he? Interesting. Is it something he built himself? Or what was different about it? So I did not see that. I didn't pay attention much to the Cleveland race. Some weekends I try not to do RC. So I think what we're going to see is a lot of tire brands going at each other next year, which is good. We're going to have Raw Speed out there, Hot Race, J Concepts, obviously. TZO is going to be going. ProMotion is making some strides. Will we see Matrix come on over? What about Dialed RC? Will they hire somebody to be in the fight? So, lots going on. Lots going on. Skeletal chassis, 2-piece with adjustable weight shift. Really? And they're coming out with a tire. Okay. Wow. That is a lot of tires. Seems like there's a lot of tires now. How different are the compounds? I don't know. I haven't. The only tire that I've driven has been a J Concepts tire in the last 2 years. I could not tell you. And it's been a Reflex on my E-Buggy, E-Truggy. But they're all going to have to come. I think the tire companies are putting a lot of money into the racing program. I think Hot Race has already made the big jump in 10 scale, obviously. And I think J Concepts needs to play a little bit of catch up right now. I think if they come up with a good tire and compound for these indoor races that people just put in their work, I think that's going to really, the 8 scale races that is, I think that's going to really put them up, be really good for them. I think TZO suffers from the same thing because the East Coast races, Raw Speed's working with Lutz, ProMotion's working with Lime and Tater. Dialed, they probably need a top driver, but Gene's right there testing his tires there in the Southeast too. So I think we're gonna see some change in those brands. Maybe coming up for a little money to hire some of these guys. Check it. Oh, sorry. I saw Chad says, what do tire companies' salaries look like for the top guys? Fenn, Mayfield, Extraction, etc. Excuse me. So I honestly have no idea on Mayfield's salary, but I think Mayfield might have he's been with Runner from the very beginning. I can give you some experiences on what I know, what I've heard through various different sources. What Matrix was paying drivers, I know. Okay, I'll give you an example. I know that when Ronafal left, I think the going rate was $4,000. He was going to get $4,000 from Matrix a month, plus contingency and all that stuff. So that's quite a big chunk of change. And then I'm sure that there's in that deal, I'm sure each person's different, that they have something, obviously their contingency, then to do with travel, some help towards travel, whether it be housing, something like that. Each contract is different, but I don't think that that's like top echelon. I would think that maybe Mayfield might be making something close to that. I don't think Fenn's making that much, but I would say the top drivers are on that. I know. I was told that that's what Ronafalk was making. So yeah, $4,000 a month. And I was told that's basically what drivers are trying to get. So I would say it's around that magic number. I would say that the top drivers, the Mayfields, the Fens, those type of guys are looking to get about $5,000 a month, $4,000 to $5,000 a month from their chassis. Let me rephrase that: $3,500 to $5,000, and I would say they're trying to get. Some of them probably getting $2,500, and maybe one or two are getting $4,000 a month. So theoretically, do you think a top driver will clear $80K? I mean, Mayfield said on his Wheel and Trigger podcast that he makes above $150K a year with contingency and all that stuff. And then you gotta remember that I would say that these top drivers are making anywhere from $8,000 to $12,000 a month, maybe off salaries. Then throw in maybe they make $3,000 at, like, I don't know what the contingency is, but let's say a contingency for a race like DNC is, I don't know, for winning Nitro Buggy, they get $3,000 altogether by the time they add up. Maybe if they win Nitro Buggy, Nitro Truggy, and E-Buggy, then obviously they make a lot of money. But that is a very, very small percentage of top RC drivers. Very. I would say that you could count them on one hand. Maybe one or two more than that are making that type of money. In RC racing. Very few. And then the rest are, I would say the rest are making anywhere from $1,500 to $5,000 a month from the rest, like the rest of the drivers. So, yeah, I don't think like Brandon Rose. I'm just using his. Okay. I don't think like yeah, I'll use Brandon Rose. I don't think Brandon Rose is getting $5,000 a month from Associated and $3,500 from J Concepts. I don't think he's making anywhere near that. So I would just like to get the kids help traveling. Well, RC Amigos, I heard this from lots of fathers. And the only way you're ever going to get help travel is by actually going out there and traveling and doing good. Companies don't give out travel dollars. They give out product discounts. And then you have to go out and try to get results to get better things. Think about everybody else that's trying to get travel. Now, companies have a lot of different people with travel. So each company is different. For instance, Hot Race was who brought Juna Hotman to carpet championships. So it's all different. But I would say, like, we're saying people that are making $100,000 plus, $150,000 plus dollars a year, this may be maybe 5 drivers. Maybe. So no, there is not millions of dollars in these guys' accounts like a lot of people believe. Unless they've been really good with money. But chassis 3 to 5K, 2K engine electronics, 1 to 2K, and smaller sponsors are probably getting free product. I would say that chassis for the top tier guys are 3 to 5K. I would say everybody else is around maybe 1,000 to 2,500. Engine, I'm not really sure much engines are paying out much nowadays. OS isn't really paying nobody. Reds pays a few guys. Ultimate obviously pays a few guys. A-Main pays a few guys, I would say. Nova, whoever, they're paying, obviously paying Borak and stuff like that. But ain't much. You know who used to pay a lot for these guys back in the day? Was Maxima, the fuel and engine company. Remember when Rivkin, Cavallari, I think Robert, Jorn Newman, Mayfield, Cavallari, I think all those guys were sponsored by Maxima. And that guy was just a big fan of RC. And he, from what I was told, and Tebow was a part of them too. I heard they were making like $2,500 a month from the engine manufacturer. Plus, he paid a lot of their travel. So when that gentleman passed away, he took a lot of opportunity, like a lot of money for these guys. I don't think engines are out there paying. I don't think engines are out there paying these guys $2,000 a month. I think it might be like $750 to $1,000 at the most. Maybe one of these guys making $1,500. Because engines just ain't. It isn't that many engines out there nowadays. You either go OS, you go Ultimate, you go Reds. Maybe Nova comes in. I mean, there's other options. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying you have Alpha and all that stuff, but Maxima was paying bank to those guys. But that was just because he really liked RC. I think it was, he was obviously well off. And then FX too. I forgot about FX as well. But I don't know if they get paid from FX from X-Ray or if it's part of it. So yeah, I don't think we're seeing those big paychecks from to OS anymore. The money is cool, but the travel experience is so much fun, especially when the whole fam is there. Yeah, but when you're doing this as a pro driver, you're not taking your family there. You're going on your own. And it's a different story. But if you're going to go to a race, then and you're taking your family, that's fun too. Don't get me wrong. But for these top pro guys, it's not about taking their family might go to one race. But usually it's work, man. You go there, you show up, you race, you do your thing, and you win. Hopefully you win, or you do good where you make some money that weekend. That's why when you could be in first, half a lap to go, and imagine getting taken out and losing that race by a back marker. And you was like, yeah, man, half a lap to go. I've got $5,000 in contingency in my pocket. Oh, shit. Now it's dropped down to 500. Yeah. I was thinking about that because we always say there's no risk in RC, right? There is no physical risk in RC because we're not physically out there where we can hurt ourselves. But the risk is financial for the top guys. So there's a financial risk for them, which means a lot. Like some of these guys might come to a race, counting on that contingency to pay for the travel to get to that race. They might have made enough money to travel to that race. Imagine that. That's your job. You made enough money to pay for you to go to your job. That's just how it goes. This is the real life of the RC pro driver. There are a couple guys that make really good money. And even them, they have to go out and find money and find travel and do this type of stuff. And then there's the guys out there that are, that's why you see a lot of these drivers, these top drivers are usually young guys because they're probably able to still stay at home and make it work. There are a few exceptions where people are making, maybe they're not making what the top guys are making, but making enough to live. I would say Lutz is one of those guys. Lutz is making enough to support his family, and of course, he has his other businesses inside the industry that he works with. So I would say that's just part of it, right? But yeah, not everybody's out there making bank. Unfortunately, it comes back to why I said the system failed Tater. Imagine that if you're a world champion in another form of motorsports or sport, and then 2 years later, you've still been racing. Okay, I haven't been doing really good, but you still get to that time and you might not have a job. Exactly. This isn't F1 and NASCAR. The sponsor dollars are not the same. Do the top guys make merch? Or they don't. You know, the only person that does merch, there's only 2 people that do merch. They are Ryan Mayfield through J Concepts, and I think Aiden Horn may have some merch. But yeah, I don't understand why we don't do that. Would we buy merch from them? We've seen it somewhat successful with Ryan Mayfield's merch, but would we buy a Brandon Rose merch shirt? I mean, I would. Do we put these guys up on high enough pedestal where their merch sells? That's on them as well. But yeah, I definitely wouldn't if they came up with a cool shirt. Maybe Spencer Rifkin has one as well. What about Brian Cross? Tebow has merch. JTP. I forgot about him. That's right. But not all these guys. You would think that, like, but see, would we buy it? Would we buy it? Would we buy their shirts enough to support them? Because I'm telling you, having shirts made and then having sit on shirts for a year on end is not easy. That's why we're going print. We're going to what we're going to do here is we're going to open up a print shop and you order and then it gets printed and it's sent to you. Good. Maybe it's something they have to look into, but that's the initial investment, right? Then they have to ship that stuff out from home. Then they have to carry it to races with them that they're going on airplanes and stuff like that. So I think Robert does his own March 2, 36 mood. So there are some drivers out there on the hustle, but they should have been doing it years ago, right? I would agree with you there. Checker Pass, he says, let's be realistic. Runners behind, Bruno and J Concepts are behind the Mayfield March. I feel like Mayfield is more or less on cruise control. Yeah, I agree. But it's still his name and his logo being used. So. And I would agree, RCM Eagles. The margins are so low on March like that. Like if these guys are going to sell 1,000 shirts, which isn't a lot in the big scheme of things, but if you're going to sell 1,000 shirts, then okay, maybe. But when you're selling 1 or 2, 3 or 4 here, I guess it's saying rise up the pro driver salary. The industry needs to mature at the moment. It's still a joke. Yeah, I mean, it would be ideal if these guys could make more money, but these companies are spending the money in so much other things as well, and they got to make money. Maybe the racers can have purses. If you had I don't know. I mean, but I also kind of want to spread this. I'm kind of about spreading the purses across the board with everybody. So maybe I don't know, man. It's a lot. I mean, I'm telling you, at the end of the year, a lot of these guys have 2-year contracts and they're pretty safe for 2 years. But come to the end of the year, I'm sure every pro driver's out there is thinking, will I have a ride next year? Will I have this? Who's going to pull out? Because I know for me and the podcast, I'm like, who's going to be here next year? What is my way of living going to be next year? How much money do I have to, you worry about all of this type of stuff. So, like, I don't know. That's just one of the things dealing in a job in an industry like this where it's reliant on sponsors and reliant on all this type of stuff. So That's my thoughts on that. All right, it's 2:40 here. I think it would be cool, says Wilcrow, if drivers had trading cards like athletes. You get a pack and you place an order with one of their sponsors. All that costs money. All of that costs money. And you have to make some money off it. It's like me. The stickers that I get done, they're not the best, but I give them away. I would like to sell stickers but I would get better. I would get better stickers made. I had some nice stickers made by I think it was Wyatt Wilson, his dad. The Integrity RC. They made some great stickers, and I would have to sell these stickers because they cost me $1 something each to make. But will people buy stickers from you? So, I get the lesser quality ones and give them to you. Oh, Checker Pass says they did, but they were RC trading cards. Cool. The manufacturers do sponsor a lot of races and a lot of tracks. And if you think J Concepts is a big company, you're blind. You cannot see the industry how it is. The early solution was RCGP, and it was shut down by the community and the industry, not mature enough. Yeah, but that was also 6 years ago, Basement. Things have changed. And as much as we complain about the industry not ready for RCGP, we can complain about RCGP's attitude, because I was a part of it. RCGP likes to blame everybody else but themselves for it. Certain people in RCGP. But now that I've had a chance to step back and look at things, I say this all the time. RCGP was 15 years too early. 15 years too early. But what RCGP did do is help move things in a different direction, which is good. And I've talked to the owner of RCGP about this many times. And I was intricately involved in RCGP, so I would know. I need to get an NNRC hat from Ryan. Yeah, I don't even have an NNRC hat myself. This shirt is 4 years old. I didn't even have NNRC. I have one NNRC shirt. I haven't worn it yet. And Tracy Patterson gave it to me. It's an NNRC youth shirt. I haven't even got my own NNRC shirts in years. I just went to your site. I don't have nothing. Don't even go to my website, because that thing that's wasteful. I want to do a print shop here where you go to YouTube and then you could order them here, where you print to order. RCGP was also not mature enough, but at least they tried. They did, but it was too early for them. RCGP needed to happen 5 years from now. But RCGP started something that is going to make that we're at now. If it wasn't for RCGP pushing the envelope on certain things, we wouldn't be at where we're at now. So while RCGP may not have played the role that we all wanted it, that we thought it would, and we kind of wanted it to do, it still played a role. Eric Hosford, I am currently looking into that. The goal is to have it up and running in January. A print on demand. We'll use, I think it's called Print. Or whatever. Spring. Sorry, it's called Spring. We will use. Trevor Williams. I have been out of racing for about 6 years. It's amazing how much has changed in that short amount of time. The hobby seems like it's thriving, yet tracks are shutting down everywhere. It seems 10 scale clay tracks will soon be a thing of the past. Yeah, because it's just not sustainable. 10 scale clay tracks. I've talked about this quite a lot. The future is probably going to be semi-permanent carpet tracks, like what they do in the UK. Do you drive for Tekno or are you on a discount? Are you talking to me, Ron Roy? If not, no. RC Amigo, send me your logos. I'll design you up some stuff for a t-shirt. Yeah, I just need to. So I need to get on Spring, put some time into it. I just want basic shirts. Basic shirts for people to get and hats. And Eventually, I'll get some shirts printed to have probably in the trailer to sell. The issue is you have to buy like 300 of them. And I'll always do this. I'll never do this again. I'll never get them not in plastic. Always got them pay that extra $1. Get them put in plastic. I am not sponsored by Tekno. They do advertise on the podcast. I do drive a Tekno E-Buggy that was given to me by some friends. But yeah, I do not drive for Tekno. They have just been a long time sponsor of the podcast. Smack track close. It was my smack track close, and it was my home track and clay. So now I'll be racing on carpet first time ever. Years ago, I said I would never race carpet. Racing on carpet is better than no racing at all. And yes, Lance, I'm still talking. I use it for my t-shirts. Spring. Yeah, I'm going to look into that. What would really help would reduce the classes to 1 or 2 and done. At the moment, the whole industry is stretching too thin. But there's classes actually keeping those industries alive too. Those classes are what's keeping the industry alive. The Truggy class, the E-Truggy class, the E-Buggy class, the Sportsman class, the Intermediate class, the Pro class, the 40-plus class, the left arm gimp and overweight class, which is only me. They all keep the industry going. So that is what I have learned in my time. Oh, Island Speedway. Yeah, I've never been there, but it looks beautiful. I might be going there next year for the INS. They have 50-plus classes. I think before we do a 50-plus class, I like to actually see a proper youth class. Something nobody ever talks about. But I understand there's not as much youth in RC as old fart class like me. I'll be in the 50-plus class very shortly. Hopefully. So 2 hours and 41 minutes. Let's see. How did we do? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 super chats. 3 more super chats to reach our goal. I had 3 hours to do it. So we got 20 minutes. Any more questions? Super chat. Youth class would be awesome. I know. Would be. Any more questions? Any more super chats? So just a reminder, the 22nd at 7 p.m. EST, Monday, we will be going live for the Elite RC Productions Christmas show with giveaways. Trevor Williams, I already talked about silly season. I have lots of insider information, but it's nothing direct. I really just spent like an hour talking about silly season. You're going to have to go back and look at that. Magnus, just let you know, I'll be racing my Serpent for one race next year, as usual, without any sponsors. So Magnus is up in this pocket of Swedish people that love serpents. I don't know what it is. They just love serpents. Just Lefty for president and E-Buggy out. Oh, basement. We have to do a live show. I'm trying to get Invisible Speed to give me some giveaway stuff. I already asked Pecco. He said maybe a pit mat. As for the NNRC Christmas show, I don't know where Max is. I think Max is out secretly plotting something against me this silly season. I'm very worried. He's not even communicating with me at this moment. So anybody out there that knows what Max's plans are, let me know. What's up, Michael Thompson? Please let me know. But we'll probably do our live show after Christmas. It sounds like probably like in between that and New Year's. PM. Maybe Lance knows what was going on in Bartow Sunday. No, nobody wants to answer me, Jimmy Cooper. But, you know, it's all right. I don't need answers directly. I can read between the lines. That's what happens when you have such great silly season experience like myself. Unlike Max, who just accuses me of cooking the books. Anyway, we will probably go live next week, though. That's for sure. For a talk. Maybe Christmas should be next week. I don't know. 22nd is Monday. Oh, when is Christmas? I didn't even look. I need to go Christmas shop. Christmas is next week, Thursday. Jesus Christmas. I got a week to get all my stuff I need to get. Wow. Okay. Actually, I just need to get my daughter something. My son, I got him his gift. Anyway, thank you guys for your time. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for the super chats. Congratulations to the winner of the E-Buggy. I am going to go too. I got to go pick up my daughter from school. You guys have a good day. I will see you Monday. Remember, if you're a patron or YouTube member, you get early access to the Nicola Moroni podcast, which is really good. You're going to like it. Go check out the Brock Champlin podcast, which I thought was really good. And yeah, check out my Power Wheels podcast. Hit a like there. Help us get to 200 subs. It's been hard. I'll still be doing that, but not as much in the new year. Just invite JQ for Christmas show, but every 5 minutes he needs to give one pit mat. I would only, if JQ wants to be engaged and have fun, perfect. I think our best Christmas show we ever done was when we did one live and he got drunk and then he had COVID the next day. And is sick the rest of the trip. JQ. Good to see you, Bauman. Anyway, guys, a big shout out to all the sponsors that make this possible. Without them, none of this is possible. A big shout out to the YouTube members and patrons, the NNRC squad around the world. None of this is possible without you guys' support. Remember, in the written description, we have links for our sponsors, link for our YouTube membership, link for our Patreon. And the companies that make this happen are J Concepts, High Tech RCD, Sidewinder Fuel, Latera Racing, Invisible Speed, ML Toys, SidePieceRacing.com, Dollar Hobbies, Fly Sky, Get Shit Done Coffee, Elite RC Productions, RC Project, Mayako, Tekno RC, Beach RC, Racecraft USA, Clinic RC. And I actually am all about 8-scale short course truck, and WIRC has one. So that I think they're cool. Thank you guys for all the continued support. I will probably see you next week as well for NNRC Live, Coffee and Lefty. Who knows? I might go live again this week if some big news happens. So I like the lives. I like spending time with you guys. Thank you for joining me for Coffee and Waffles with Lefty. Darren Windsor, you're late. You're late. I'm leaving. Ta-ta for now. God save the queen, the king, and all of that good stuff. Darren from England, he knows all about all of that. No Max here, but you get to see Max in the outro. I think you do. But ta-ta for Max as well. See you guys later. Lefty is out.